everybody. My name is Frankie McDonald. You're listening to SimpCast with Chrissie Mayr. I'm Frankie McDonald.
Não chaval aqui, chinamo kikirani, tsai shavakirani, tsai makikirani. I want my baby back, Chili, baby back, red.
Caller, this is calls for Ayala. Hi. So.
Hey, do you remember me?
Who's this?
Nick.
No.
Last name Gers.
Nick Gers. I don't know names. I don't even remember my mom's name.
Say it again.
If you even tell me you're my mom, I wouldn't remember her name. Like, I'm really bad with names. How do you look?
Will you say my name again? I don't even know if you heard me right.
Nick Gers.
Thank you.
Why? Why do you have to call in like that? Why do you have to call in like that? That's not a good caller. It's a horrible, horrible caller. I'm going to play you a little song.
Nick Gers! Oh, Nick.
Me Chinese, me play jokes, me put pee-pee in your coat.
What's up, Vivek?
Hey.
Whoa!
Look at this. What's up, guys?
I was craving a Slurpee.
Can I get my change back correctly?
You know, we'll...
I feel like a lot of us are conservative in the way that we just want to be able to say the N-word and it not really matter.
That's all I want. Come on. Is that so much to ask? Can't I just say the N-word? Does that make me a bad person?
Come on, guys.
Violet's a huge fan of yours. She loves censored TV.
Oh, great.
I do. I love your show. Big fan.
All she wants is to be able to say the N-word, but that's the only thing that's holding her back in life.
Yeah.
Oh, it just, you go like this.
How are you and your man? Oh, Bisconti, he's in hospice. I'm teasing. Oh, it's a joke. It was an old man joke. No, there was somebody in hospice on meeting earlier, so I was like, oh, geez. I'm just kidding. He's fine. Oh my God, we're great. I'll marry that man. Oh, he's adorable. So.
If my babies fall out, this is your fault, John. I'm just saying.
Jumping jack. Whoa!
Yeah, don't.
Whoa!
What was it?
Whoa!
Okay. There. I did it. What, you can take me?
I just died in your arms tonight. This must have been something slow. I just died in your arms tonight.
There. I did it.
Are you winning, son?
Hi, I'm Ali. I'm an English teacher, a dialect coach, and today I'm going to show you exactly what actors do perfectly and terribly when they try to do a British accent. Let's rate some accents.
My kink is British accents. Oh, is that all right?
Cheerio, cut.
Yeah, right then. Bush on cheerio.
You're really attracted to this.
Oh, bloody hell.
I had to look up where she grew up and went to school because I genuinely don't know why she's so good. She's not trying to sound perfect.
I'm taking the dog, dumbass.
I'm taking the dog.
He's just happy to have the attention. He's just happy to have the attention.
Got tired of my scheming. It's me. Hi, I'm the baddie. It's me.
Our next guest is originally from Danville, Illinois. He enjoys cold beer and hot music. Says that he and his mom don't see eye to eye on his love life. And he claims that his job has cost him several relationships. Please welcome Robert Faggot. Fine, how are you? Faggot is rather an odd name.
Yeah, you know, it is an odd name.
Speak does not make you intelligent. Now get out of here.
No, Mrs. Stay.
Misa Kochata.
Ding, 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 ding.
Sunday, Monday, happy day. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy day. Thursday, Friday, happy day. The weekend comes, my cycle hums.
Your lip, just kind of get it in there. Fill it in a few different times just to kind of get a real deep color. And then kind of go in here at the bottom.
I'm gay. I have relationships with men and sex with men.
Hey, hi everybody. Welcome to SimpCast. Give yourselves a round of applause for showing up tonight. It's like we're at a comedy club. Oh my gosh, it's April 13th already. Happy birthday to the bean, by the way. My baby boy turned 1 year old on Thursday, and we had a little party for him on Saturday. It was very cute. He smashed his cake and he didn't really eat any of it because he knows cake is not good for you. All the training is paying off. No, I'm just kidding. He just didn't know what the hell to do with himself. I've got a fabulous panel of ladies. I will bring them in shortly. But first, I have some shows to promote. Oh, boy. Yes! Come see me May 17th at Jazz on Main in Mount Kisco, New York, here in Westchester. Let's see. There's more. I have more dates that are not on this graphic. Then I'll be in Belmore, Long Island at the Brokerage August 8th and 9th. September 18th, Plano, Texas. October 18th, Massillon, Ohio. October 23rd, San Diego. November 1st, Phoenix. Very exciting. More dates coming too. Who knows? Maybe I'll call it the DEI Hire Tour. We'll try a couple different names. But some of those tickets are available on my website, chrissiemayr.com, and the other ones are coming soon. So don't get upset. And as always, if you have a cool comedy club or venue in your area, tweet at them, tag me. I'm always looking for places to perform. Woohoo! So fun. Okay. We will bring in the gals that are on time. And by on time, I mean 20 on time for me is 20 minutes late. Yes. Okay, welcome back to the show. You know them, you love them. Cherry Perez and Keri Smith. Cherry and Keri.
Cherry. Look at that.
Oh my God, Cherry. Because I do this.
Oh, wow.
Is this a little bit like thirds?
Yeah.
We'll do it.
Something like that.
I like this better. Oh my goodness. Hi, Cherry. What's new with you?
Hey, not too much. Kind of the same old. Just posting videos, working, you know.
just wearing, having one ear in your headphones.
Yeah, that comes from. I went to college for music, and I could never have both things on because I have to hear myself out of my ear. I hate the input monitoring, so
Try that.
just a habit I've carried with me, I guess. But
I like to do one because I've noticed, like Jim Norton does that when he's podcasting. He always does one ear on and one, and I'm like, oh, I guess that's the professional way to do it.
It's nice to be able to hear, what you sound like on here, but also in the room. I don't know.
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it this whole episode. One ear. Yeah. Keri, what do you think? Should you try one ear in, one ear out?
Yeah, I've got these cheap, like free airline. I can take one out.
I love it.
I love it. Keri, what's new with you?
Well, I just saw you last week in New York.
Yes, that was so awesome. Yeah, tell me about your trip to New York, which was, of course, the highlight of which was doing my show in the studio.
It was actually the highlight, getting to see you, your little bean, Frank, meet your intern, see Fealty. I loved it. And having dinner, it was just, that was great. I got sick on the way home from New York, so I'm still a little under the weather. It's the only time, it's so funny. It was like a karma in a way, because on the way it took us forever to get actually to the Newark airport. We were coming from upstate New York. And I was like making fun of kind of a couple of people on the air train who were wearing masks, like these total leftist looking people. And I was just kind of joking about them with my husband. And then we get on the plane and I'm seated next to this guy who for 4 hours, his nose was literally dripping. Dripping out.
What?
And he was sneezing and sniffling the whole time, and he didn't have a tissue, and he was wiping it on his pants. And I could tell so he was breathing out of his mouth, and his breath smelled like, when you can smell sickness on someone. I was like, it's the only time. It was karma, because I was sitting there wishing he was wearing a mask. Why didn't this guy wear one? You should only wear one
anything though. I don't know,
but it would have prevented me from smelling his breath. And so like 3 days later, boom, cold, like just gross. I can finally breathe today, so I'm feeling a little better. But anyway, that's where I'm at.
Wouldn't you think, like, at this point in our lives, we would have gotten all the colds that exist already?
Maybe this was the Zeta COVID, and we're not on Zeta yet.
That's true.
They keep making new strains.
They do.
So
keep us on our toes.
New boosters, yeah.
I keep looking at the Jesus behind you, and he looks like, I don't know why, like kind of. I feel like a little vampire, like like he's trying to scare you.
Did you notice he doesn't have any arms? Because
I didn't. I thought they were under the cape.
Well, I didn't think so. I got him for a really good price at an antique shop. We usually can't get these for cheap, but I got him for cheap because he's missing his hands. So I was like, nobody will notice.
Discount Jesus.
Post crucifixion Jesus. The hands were gone. Oh man. Well, happy Palm Sunday, everybody. I went to church today with the Bean and Frank and Frank's other son, he's in town for his spring break, and we went, and I learned for the first time like why they have palms, like what it's all about. And I just thought like, oh, they're here so we can fold them into crosses. They're here so that like old people have something to hang up on their walls all year long, like they do. But I guess it's because like Jesus came into town and they threw palms on the floor for him to walk across.
I love that.
Because they were like,
I didn't know that either.
They were like, yes, he was hyped up. People finally figured out how great he was, and then he got double crossed. He got hoodwinked by Judas. They sold him out for 30 shekels or something.
Was it a beautiful service?
The priest, right? I'm like, I have to like adjust myself to Catholicism. The priest is very Indian, and so I can't understand. I understand 30% of what he says, And then I thought like, oh, they're getting a new there's a new priest coming in to like swap it out. And he's like even more Indian, and I understand even less of what he says. And I just like I hate having to like really, really focus to understand. But today it was like a big, read along day. We were reading like passages and stuff. I do like it. It's always better to go than not go. It always feels really good to go.
Yeah. We went yesterday on Saturday. So
did they have palms available? Or they're like, no, not till Sunday. Come back.
Yeah, no, they didn't. But it was still nice.
Yeah, it was nice because we got there a little bit late and they had just like the small shitty palms, and I was like, oh man, I was about to take, and I was about to, like, it was clearly like the work left behind.
They were already picked over.
It was very picked over, and then as we get up to the bad pile, the priest like goes into this like mystery door and gets out more good palms, and I was like, yes,
that's so funny.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with them yet. I don't know how to fold it into a cross, but the baby really liked him. He was like, yay!
Oh, I bet. Yeah,
he was
totally.
Like, it's just amazing watching the baby, like everything he gets his hands on, like if he doesn't put it in his mouth, he's really like observing it, like flipping it over, like anything he has, he looks at both sides. He's like really observing. It's so cool. It's so cool to see, like, I guess, I don't know.
Like people say,
go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, people say, it's like you see life again through your child's eyes, that kind of thing. So
yeah, I'm like, I wasn't looking at the palms that closely, but maybe I should.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, you could tell he was like, yeah, these are not the cheap, shitty ones. Very, very cool. Oh my God, Stewie Felt. It's simping time. Thank you, Stewie. I don't know what's going on with your avatar. You look like sort of like a bloated puppet man there. But thank you. Russell Hall for 5. I've been thinking it over and I've decided that you were too hard on the flaming whip guy last week. Aaron is just out there living his bomb. Okay, look. This whole story has been debunked. Look, for you guys that missed last week, this guy Aaron Bonk is a Renaissance fair
legend.
He juggles whips that are on fire. He juggles like all sorts of things, but he's also like an S&M person who's like poly, who is just
a lot.
He's a lot. He's a couple. He's like too into himself. These Renaissance fair people. They're very they're very degenerate. They have loose morals.
It's such a weird culture. It really is.
And this guy is just too gosh darn into himself. Like he really thinks he's hot shit. And I don't know. It always bothers me when I pick up like a lot of ego on somebody.
Do you think that a lot of these poly people, I'm like, it's one of those cases where I'm like, why do they always look like this? I don't know what he looks like, but I'm like, he
has just a small little eyebrow of a mohawk on his head.
That was like diagonal though.
Yeah.
It was like nothing I've ever seen before, honestly.
These are carnival people. He's essentially a carny. He's like a showman. He's that's what people like to see. You don't want a low energy whip juggler. No. So I don't know what I expected. Aaron Bonk. And then he's been in Keanu's DMs. I don't know if he's trying to make something happen. But I can't wait for the interview. Push-ups for 2. FYI, Keri's Twitter is on fire since Murray Rogan.
Oh, thank you. Hey, push-ups.
I did not know about this.
Well, I've been, possibly because I was sick, I even canceled my show on Friday. I've just been like mostly laying on the couch reading because I was like, I don't want to sit up. But I watched the whole, did you guys watch the Rogan episode?
No.
Well, I watched the whole thing. I haven't watched him in a while, but I watched the whole thing twice. And then
what?
Yes, I thought this was.
You even watch an episode of Rogan once? Like I can never finish an episode.
Let me tell you why. Here's one of the interesting parts about it. It's an ink blot test. I joked on Twitter that I haven't seen this much disagreement between people I respect since the Barbie movie, but there's people I respect with wildly different views on what they saw. And so I've been trying to explain what I saw, because some people that I greatly respect saw it differently. So I finally wrote an essay today trying to put my thoughts together on it. So I just put that out. But I don't know. I've been kind of just thinking about it a lot. I think it's worth watching. And I haven't, like I said, I haven't watched one in a while. My husband watches all of them, but
let's go to this. Let's go to the Twitter.
Yeah, I've been meaning to watch it because, kind of like you said, I feel like it's like those who are on Murray's side say he won, or people who tend to be on Dave's side say that he won. And whenever it goes off like that, I'm like, I just have to watch it for myself, but I haven't had the time yet.
I can't handle the one ear off. I have to have them both on.
Well, they
you tried.
They were, presumably, the original intention was that, so Douglas Murray has a new book out about Israel. And the two of them, Dave Smith and Douglas Murray, were there to debate Israel Gaza. However, it was very obvious, and I think one thing that everyone can agree on, no matter if they have wildly different views on what happened, I think everyone can agree that Douglas Murray, I mean, even Dave Smith said this, that Douglas Murray didn't want to debate him.
Right.
Douglas Murray spent the first 40 minutes delivering what you either thought was a very important message, which is what I thought, or he spent 40 minutes scolding people and scolding Joe Rogan and Dave Smith and telling them that they should trust experts blindly.
Oh, we love that.
Yeah, but that's not actually what he was saying, and in my opinion, and that's why I kind of tried to put my thoughts down in a longer form. But anyway, it is very interesting, because if you watch it and you disagree with me, I want to know why. Actually, Filthy's been writing me about, he disagrees with me, and I was like, okay, let me hear what you say, because I'm misunderstanding. But here's what I saw. So
yeah,
it's fascinating, like you said, Cherry, when people who you respect disagree that much. Like, where I'm used to, when the woke left disagrees, it's like whatever, they disagree on everything. But when it's people that you respect who have vastly different impressions of what happened, it's like, wait a minute, there's something interesting here.
If you don't have 3 hours to spare to watch Douglas Murray versus Dave Smith debate on Joe Rogan, here's an 11-second summary. Oh, okay.
Okay. I can already tell they don't like Murray.
Okay, I should have listened to that before playing it. I thought it's gonna be like
just music.
That's fun. Okay. Let's see. Oops. Why can't they just argue with my counter arguments to the points they didn't make? Okay, I don't understand the reference because I didn't see it.
I know, it's hard when you haven't seen it,
Let's see. Douglas Murray got wrecked by Dave Smith on Joe Rogan. Okay.
Hold on. You got to stop interrupting and let him finish the sentence.
So the tragedy that's been inflicted on Gaza is orders of magnitudes greater than October 7th. Even if you had the right, let's say, somebody broke onto your property and killed some of your family members and you want to go kill this guy. If he goes back to his apartment building and you know that there's women and children in that apartment building, and so your move is to blow up the building, what you would be charged with is murder in the first degree. Cold-blooded, premeditated, intentional murder. And you could sit there and tell the judge, I didn't want to kill all those people. Why would I want to kill all of those people? I just had to kill that one guy. But that's not what counts. You did it intentionally. You dropped a bomb knowing that there were women and children in that building. That is intentionally murdering innocent people. And if you're going to advocate for this war, so why can't you just say, yes, that price is acceptable? Because then we could have a real conversation about why the other side is going to look at you like a monster.
Hold
on.
So let me give the counter.
Sure.
To that, which is that the rules of war are very different. We all acknowledge this, and I assume everyone believes that there are certain circumstances that justify war, even if you don't believe the Israel-Gaza situation is one of those circumstances. You can think of an example where I think most people can think of an example where they think war is justified. And so right after this part, like the rules of war are different, first of all, but I think it was right after this part, Murray was trying to ask him, like, so what should have been done? because you had Hamas go in, they did this attack and they murdered all these innocent people. And Smith seemed to be saying, and correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but Smith seemed to be saying that you still can't go to war, because if you do, war is going to there are going to be casualties, unintended casualties of a war, innocent casualties. Yes, that always happens in war. And he was saying sort of, and if you do this, you're going to turn more people. Hamas hates you and they're trying to kill you and destroy you. But if you do anything, they're going to hate you even more. And so what is the answer? I think that was the question that was left unanswered for me when it got to that specific part. The first 40 minutes wasn't actually a debate. The first 40 minutes was what was most interesting to me. But for the people who were interested in the debate about that war, that's a question I still haven't heard answered very well. Like, what should they have done? Is it to send troops door to door? I mean, how do you go after a terrorist death cult like Hamas? How do you go after them when they are...
Send them a lot of Girl Scout cookies and don't tell them about all the glyphosate and the bad ingredients.
Girl Scout cookies. Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah, there you
that
go.
Was a
Right.
Question that was kind of left unanswered for me, and I don't think I've ever heard anyone articulate a good. And so that would have been nice too if they'd gotten to that point. But like, what is the alternative? Like, what are you suggesting be done then?
James Shart, thanks for the 5. I watched some of that debate. Murray missed a lot of rather obvious holes in Smith's arguments. Murray was not wrong, but he was a punching bag.
Yeah, I think it was. I don't think my interpretation of it was that even though it was supposed to be a debate, that Murray decided he didn't want to debate Smith. It was sort of like, I think he came there to deliver a message about our responsibility and, what kinds of, like, it was sort of like the left. Think about the woke left. They spent all this time unquestioningly mainstreaming the most fringe, crazy people and promoting them and elevating them until they became powerful, to where we are at a point now in 2025 where we have to debate nonsense like, can a man become a woman? And
Can a
so,
man give birth?
is that possible? And so now I think he's sort of saying, be careful that you're not just doing sort of the mirror opposite and just elevating fringe stuff, to where we get to a point where we have to sit down and debate, is the earth really flat? It is. And so I think that was the message he was trying to convey. And yeah, whether you think he did that successfully or not, or whether you disagree with him, maybe you don't think there's a danger of that at all happening.
This is the clip where Dave Smith and Douglas Murray get into an argument over, quote, trusting the experts. Gosh, it's 6 minutes long, so maybe we'll skip around a little.
I think that one of the bigger, kind of the bigger picture dynamics to all of this is that we have, at least since 9/11, been in a state of perpetual war. And all of these wars have been disasters. They have been so many lies involved in selling all of them. I mean, the whole Iraq war, the whole war in Afghanistan, just lying the whole way through. Yeah. I mean, I remember literally having conversations with Green Berets in the middle of the war in Afghanistan. And they're like, George W. Bush is telling you that the army we're building up there is really successful. This thing's going to fall in a week without us. And then all through the Obama administration, it's just like lie after lie after lie with disastrous wars. And so this does create a fertile ground for people to say, I wonder if they were lying about all these wars.
Sure.
Again, I'm not really trying to argue with you about World War II. I'd rather argue about these wars
ground.
today.
I think the interesting question is whether you're busy watering.
Oh, he's British?
But should you not talk about mistakes?
Oh, yeah.
I think I can tell without even listening. I'm going to save myself 3 hours. People think that this guy makes good points because he's got a British accent.
That was what Glenn
very
Greenwald.
smart.
That was Glenn Greenwald's take on it.
Really? I'm just kidding. We can keep listening.
Mistakes that were made
You should.
overall.
Absolutely.
Okay, you should.
Absolutely.
Right.
I'm all for going back and looking at mistakes.
So what is your argument then?
It's a very weird thing to go back, zone in on a man, say this one thing is a mistake and should characterize him, and you ignore everything else.
You're taking him
It's
out of
like
context when you're talking about Daryl, who's done what was it, 30 plus hours?
So what? 30 plus hours of
But you
podcasting.
take-
You do that in a week. I mean,
Yeah, but
come
it's a
on.
very
It's a very
thing.
different.
It's a very
thing.
different
He's
thing.
not doing a podcast like talking to people.
Okay, nor is he doing scholarly work, nor is he working in the archives. Come on.
Can you
I mean,
pause
this
here
is,
for just
he
one
is
second?
not
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
historian of our era.
So this was a point they Smith and Rogan both earlier they said the same thing, and then they said, look, when Daryl Cooper was on Rogan and he had a one-on-one with Rogan uninterrupted, he didn't have someone there to argue with him like Dave was brought in to argue with Douglas. He had an hour, however, 2-3 hours to comfortably stretch out and make his arguments. But when he was there, he was talking about this sort of revisionist history that's starting to take root, that, you know, Churchill was actually the real villain of World War II. And some people online, not Cooper, but some people online in his audience and his comments take that a step further and say, you know, the mustache man wasn't really that bad. Hitler wasn't really that bad,
mustache
right?
man.
The mustache man makes him sound like, who's the mustache man? But yeah, so he said, you know, Churchill was the real villain of World War II when he was on Rogan. So the two of these guys, Rogan and Smith, spent time earlier saying that's not true. Well, he did say that, but he even admitted he was being hyperbolic, right? He admitted he didn't truly mean it. He was being hyperbolic. They repeated that. The problem is, and maybe they weren't aware of this, I wasn't. I'm assuming they weren't aware of it, but Daryl Cooper has elaborated on his Twitter, on his X. There are posts, I'll send it to you in the chat in a second, but there are posts where he says, let's do a thread about Churchill. Here's why I think he was the real villain of World War II. So I just want to put that little caveat there because he made it very clear following his appearance that it was not hyperbole. And then he did a whole tweet thread with an argument about why Churchill was the greater villain. And so I think that's a relevant thing to bring up.
Okay, cool.
Is this supposed to be a funny show? Because I know I'm not being funny.
No, this is not a funny topic. We'll make up for it though. I just
Okay.
I'll finish this clip. Boo, 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 boo. We'll make it funny somehow.
He's not claiming to be.
This is the thing, Joe. This is like punching jelly.
No, but you
can
don't
always adapt.
consume,
It
but you
can
don't
adapt
consume his
around.
work.
What I'm saying, because I don't need to consume endless versions of a revisionist history. I understand.
But
I
it's
know where
not
this comes
revisionist
from.
history. If you listen to his work, it's not revisionist history. He's basing it on historical
But
work.
yeah, I know. But okay, so this is my point about jelly. It's a shape-shifting thing. Comedian or historian?
He's not a comedian.
Historian or podcast? Would-be historian or actual historian? You say he doesn't claim to be a historian, but he's pumping out tens of hours of
Neither
history.
does Dan Carlin. He doesn't claim to be a historian either.
You see my point about the move. It's like some weird jujitsu move.
No, I don't.
Where you say, hang on, you know all about
Sure.
this as well. You say, I'm not a historian, but I'm going to spend my time talking about history. I'm not a journalist, but I'm going to spend my time talking about this thing. I'm not an expert on this, but I'm going to spend my time talking about this thing. It's a weird move, yeah?
No.
Everyone
You don't
does
think?
it.
No, I'm a free
I don't
American.
think it's
I can
weird.
talk about
You
what I
can
like
talk
to.
about
So
what
I
you
don't. So
want.
what is the
I've
point?
noticed-
here?
Yeah, only the quote exactly the point. Only the quote experts can talk about anything, and there's a lot that the experts miss.
Yes, and he actually brought that up. I mean, he said in the first 40 minutes, Douglas Murray was the one to bring up the fact that the experts have completely failed us, and that during the COVID years,
They're
he talked about
compromised.
the lab leak thing. He said that, and Dave Smith agreed with him. They agreed on this point that the people, we find ourselves in this place now where we've lost trust in our institutions, and rightly so, and we've lost trust in our expert class and the most educated, right? And rightly so, because they've pushed this trans and kid stuff. They pushed the COVID policies. Like, they lied to us. They broke our trust. So they both talk about that. And in the greater context of the 3 hours, I would be curious to see if people still come away, I know some do, with the impression that he was saying only experts can speak. He actually said when they asked him that, no, of course you can speak. But I think his message was he actually says to Dave at some point, because Dave, I don't know if it's in this clip, but Dave starts saying, well, those institutions that have power, and he goes, you have power. You have power. You are the most influential. Like, we're at a place now where the public's lost trust. They don't know who to trust anymore. We're at it, like, who do we trust? I'm figuring it out myself. I definitely don't trust the expert class. And credentials don't mean anything to me. Are they something I take into consideration? Yes, but are they the be all end all? No. And guess what? Neither is doing a 10-hour history podcast. These are both things I weigh. I can tell that Daryl Cooper spent a lot of time researching World War II. I can tell. But is that the only thing I'm taking into consideration when he's presenting what is a new and emerging fringe theory? It's currently fringe that, Churchill was the real villain and we shouldn't have gone into that war. Does that mean that I'm like, well, he did a 30-hour podcast, so no. It's the same. If I did that, if I just took him at his word and I didn't evaluate other things as well, it would be just as bad as if I had taken the COVID policy people and the doctors at their word. And I did not. I never got the vax. I never wore
because it went against common sense.
Yes. And so I think in the context of the whole 3 hours, what Douglas Murray is saying is you can speak, everybody can speak, but there's a difference between can and should about the things that we say. Mm-hmm. And we are each individually responsible for those things, especially, it's the whole Spider-Man thing. With great power comes great responsibility. And he has to say to Dave, you guys have the power now. You have power. So I thought it was like a call for all of us to be more discerning. And, I know, like I said, this is wildly controversial. Everybody, and there are people who I respect who disagree with me. And there are people who I guess, are like, I used to respect you, but how could you think this? I'm like, I'm just trying to explain how I saw what happened.
I can respect that though.
I found it fascinating.
I can respect how you came to that conclusion. It's hard for me to say because, I'm always hesitant to speak on something that I don't know what I'm talking about, and it's like I haven't really watched the full thing. So
all I do is talk about stuff I don't know about.
Which is you being discerning. That's the point. Like that's you taking whatever you decide is the right amount of responsibility for the words that come out of your mouth. And I think that's all he's saying is we're each responsible for that.
Yeah.
The internet is forever. People forget that, and that's exactly why I don't just say, what comes to my mind. And a lot of people do, but I generally do dislike the whole trust the experts narrative. I just think, that's what happens when the institutions that we're supposed to trust, like the government and science and whatnot, when they fail you, it's like, yeah, that disrupts the fabric of society. That's literally why we're having this conversation, because the institutions we're supposed to trust have let us down so badly that people don't know where to turn now, like you said, and
they're corrupt. And
right,
COVID, who are the experts? The experts are the people that are bought off by somebody. They literally paid off CVS's and other pharmacies to not prescribe ivermectin.
Right.
So it's like,
the new expert class, in a way, depending on how you define expert, but it's certainly the new influential class in terms of the things we listen to and believe and the ideas that we consume. It's new media people. That's what I listen to. And that's, so I think what he was trying to say was a lot more nuanced than he certainly was not saying. In fact, he clarified he was not saying just blindly trust experts. I do think there's a distinction to be made also between, like, you're a comedian, Chrissy, you say all kinds of things that are horrible, but they're jokes. And I can tell they're jokes. Like, it's not, and people try to take you to task. They're like, Chrissie Mayr said that. I'm like, she's a comedian. Like, she's supposed to be funny. But a lot of what he was criticizing is not the jokes that Dave is doing. It's the very serious commentary about the war. And he's sort of like, at the end of the day, are you, no offense, Dave, but are you, all of those things should be measured. Your background, how much you've studied. Yes. And I'm sure, I can tell he's very well read.
He almost ran for president, Keri.
That's true. He did run for president.
Russell Hall says,
I thought he would have made a great candidate.
I know. I wish he had. Russell Hall for 5. If modern day England is the product of Winston Churchill, then yes, he was definitely worse than can we please stop calling him the mustache? I like that. It's like, do you know the mustache man? Push-ups for 5. Cooper said Churchill was paid by Jews to start the war. It's an obvious lie. I think Cooper is a Nazi sympathizer and is too afraid to outright say so.
I think so too. Well, he has outright. There's a whole thread of the stuff that he has outright said that I think, anyway, it removed all doubt for me. I wasn't sure. I listened to some of his history podcasts, and I was like, this guy is pretty cool. What's everyone so upset about? It wasn't until I saw some of the stuff he has clarified and removed all doubt on X, like some of his posts. So it's like, do your own research. Murray's not saying don't do your research. On the contrary, do your research, figure it out. But don't just blindly trust. I guess we're in this place where I'm saying we should be just as circumspect about new media as we became about old media.
Right. I agree with that. Yeah. Well, I think, not to keep going off on this topic, but, I do think in saying that, when you look at a lot of the more popular conservative influencers and conservative media, most of them seem to be on Israel's side. They're vouching for Israel. They think we should be defending Israel. And, you can't help but think, okay, well, if this is what everyone's pushing for, is it right? Or I have to use I have to question that. If everyone is saying, well, we need to support Israel, just kind of reminds me of, well, we need to take the backs, right. And again, I'm not
just the science.
Yeah. I'm not an expert on this issue. I have my beliefs just because of my religion, but so I tend to not like to talk about it just because, as I said earlier, I just think it's not good to just say things just to say them, as we just discussed. But yeah, and it's just an interesting perspective. But I can respect how you've come to that conclusion, Keri. And I can't wait to watch this tomorrow while I'm at work, honestly.
And I want you to tell me if you disagree and on what, because I want to hear it. I'm trying to talk to people who disagree because I want to hear how they see it, and I want them to understand, even if they don't agree, to understand how I saw it, because it is such a big chasm on what people think on this.
I'm going to watch it now, too, because it's going to take a lot for me to be swayed off my stance of, like, we shouldn't give a fuck about any other country.
Totally.
Like, the amount of time, effort, money we give to, I just don't understand, like, why.
Yeah, and that part,
we're also so hard for Israel as a country, but I just don't think we should be giving any country money. Like, we got to fix all of our own problems first. So
that's 100%. All that I've said about Israel, because I'm in the same boat as you, Cherry. I don't know enough to talk about it. So I will get people all the time in my comments calling me a Zionist or neocon or whatever. I should go suck more Jewish COCK, things like that. I'm like,
wait, how much have you had? More.
and they call me a Jew, which I'm a Christian. But anyway, they do say all these things about me. But I'm like, where do you guys are the ones obsessed with this. Where do I share my thoughts on on the conflict there? All I've ever been willing to say, because it's the one opinion I do feel confident on, and my opinion can be changed on it. Feel free to try to change it. But I don't think we should be like you, Chrissy. I don't think we should be funding other wars. This is not a war that I think we should be funding. That's it. But I haven't said, like, because I don't know. Mm-hmm. I don't know. And I don't, but I definitely don't buy the idea that there's never a just war, or that a country doesn't have the right to defend itself after an attack like that. I don't buy that. I know that. So I guess that's more than I've said on it now. That's the most I've ever said on it now.
There you go.
I do know, though, I don't want to fund it. That's what I do know.
Think, like, if a country couldn't exist without our dollars, like, I don't know, like, they should. To me, that just seems like a big welfare situation, and which is kind of icky to me. It's like, well, why don't we just see where everyone's chips fall when they're not getting outside help?
Right. And if it was any other country, I feel like most conservatives would have no problem agreeing with that and saying that. But for some reason, when it's Israel, it's a different thing. I don't get that. But
yeah,
maybe I'm missing something here. I don't know. But
Mark of Reality for 5. Thank you, Mark. I've encountered a lot of experts in my work. Their side, my side, public science experts. They basically say what they're paid to say, like Fauci, who's a snake. Right, like old,
Fauci
like
should be prosecuted.
like old media, all the journalists. Like, were the journalists that we would watch? Were they looking into any of this stuff? Or were they just reading a teleprompter? So in that sense, I do trust that the sort of new media journalists more so, because they actually have to read these articles, choose them. They choose the topics they want to discuss on their own show. Whereas like talking heads on mainstream media, I don't know. I feel like a lot of them are just
not necessarily anymore. I know this is a silly example, but remember the recent big soda controversy? But they're getting some of them. It's like they're getting presumably talking points from places like Influenceable and others that are like, hey, put this message out, support this. Again, we're at the point where at the beginning, I think a lot of new media, when it started to emerge and started to beat the crap out of old media, a lot of people were doing their own research. But now I almost wonder how many of the very large platforms, not all, but how many of them are getting talking point. They were being sent, so like, look at this. Like we all get stuff in our inboxes, like watch this, read this, and some of them are getting paid from companies like Influenceable. So I don't get the sense that's Joe Rogan. I'm just saying I think that's definitely happening, and I think there's also some who are taking foreign money. We saw this with what was it, Tenet Media, with money. So
I was just thinking about Lauren Chen the other day. Like,
I know. How is she doing?
Yeah.
Lauren, if you're out there, hope you're okay.
I miss her videos. I will say that.
I miss Lauren. She was in one of my mom group chats.
Oh.
Russell Hall says, thanks for the 2, Russell. Defend, you mean like the guy with the knife. Okay.
Does Russell think that guy? I don't think that was self-defense. He wasn't under fear of he didn't fear for his life. That's the standard for self-defense. The other kid didn't have a weapon. It was like, I don't agree with that. I know Tim Pool, I guess, has been saying he thinks it's a case of self-defense, but unlike Kyle Rittenhouse, there wasn't someone shooting bullets at Anthony Carmelo. There wasn't someone, with a knife or something coming at him. It was
very different.
Yeah.
Very different.
Okay, let me see if there's anything else in the rest of this here clip.
You can, but
we
what's
all
the
can.
point? The point is, what are you pushing? What are you watering?
What am
Why?
I pushing?
Yes.
Liberty, free markets, peace, prosperity, not getting in another stupid catastrophic war, which we're on the precipice of right now. That's what I'm pushing.
What are we on the precipice of?
Well, I think weren't you just talking about it the other day? Everyone I hear on the inside says we're about to attack Iran. I think you just said something about that the other day. Am I wrong about that? I thought I saw in one of your interviews that you did.
Possibly.
No. Okay.
That doesn't mean we are on the verge of a war. I mean, you keep referring to we being in wars. There's a very big difference.
You're
between a
British.
country having a military that's engaged and a country being at war. This country has not been at war for 25 years. You have not been fighting for the American homeland for 25 years.
But we're
Yes, we haven't. That's true. We haven't had a war on our shores. We've been picking on third world.
Hold on, what were you saying, Keri?
I said, but we are funding their war.
Old countries halfway around the world.
Well, you haven't been randomly picking on them. I mean, Afghanistan, you went.
I didn't say it was random.
Yeah, right. Okay. It wasn't like you
He,
suddenly decided to bomb again.
He's got a bad aura.
He doesn't help his case by being kind of like arrogant and like he has a condescending, shitty tone that makes me automatically not want to be on his
Okay, let me
side.
ask you this. If it is possible that some people hear his British accent and automatically assume he's smarter, is it also possible that we Americans hear the British accent and think he's pompous?
No.
No?
I first heard the British accent. I actually over assumed he was smart, so he actually started above the level for me. Now he slowly worked his way down because he sounds cunty.
I know, and I don't even know if it's the
Well, he's
British
gay,
thing that's
man.
making it that way, or if it's just
Cherry.
him.
Cherry, it's the gay.
He's gay?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is gay.
He's lost another point for me. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, Myanmar or something. We went for Afghanistan to find bin Laden and take revenge for 9/11 and stop an attack like that happening again on the American homeland. That is very different from a country being at war.
Yeah, but that's a total mischaracterization of the war in Afghanistan. It's one thing to say that might be an accurate characterization of the special operations mission in late 2001, but then we fought a 20-year regime change war against the Taliban.
Because you got dragged into the quicksand of war.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, fine. But
Fine.
I thought it wasn't a war. Like, what? I don't get
No,
your
I
argument.
said it was a war. It's your use of we, as if you're personally like suffering this war. I mean,
Yeah,
you're a
yes,
taxpayer.
when I say we,
we're
it
taxpayers,
implied,
so we
okay.
pay for it. Okay, fine.
Douglas, would
So it's like he's saying, "Oh, you're not in a war unless you have like bullets whizzing by your head." Like he's sticking to that point. Like, well, your house isn't being bombed, so you're not at war.
I think I think
My
he's
bank
just
account
technically
is.
saying it's not your war, it's Israel's war. But Dave's point is also valid, which is that, but we are paying
for it,
the taxpayer. And I think he
Right.
goes on to even clarify that even more, to hammer that home.
Junior, what's up, Junior? Thanks for the 5. America doesn't need British propagandists pushing the war agenda. Yeah, America first. I'm with you.
Let's
Junior.
go.
Woo! Margaret Reality for 2. Does Disparew's accent make him a super genius? Disparew's a great guy.
Is he Scottish?
I don't know. He's one of those British sounding countries. I don't care. I'll look it up later.
Hugo, if I went back and corrected you on every time you've used the term "we" to refer to your government or something like that, like if I were to say, "Oh, we just
It's fine,
imposed tariffs on China," would you point out that
take
I
it-
didn't,
you
and it was the
take
Trump
it- I'm
administration?
saying you take it obviously very personally, and that's your right to do so, of course. I'm just trying to make sure we're accurate here.
What do you think I'm taking personally?
Just that, the American wars.
Sure,
Taking
yeah, I
it
think they've
personally?
killed hundreds of thousands of people and cost my country $8 trillion and
Sure.
and degraded my country very much.
And there's a very good argument to make on that. I'm still slightly bemused about this move from I'm an expert on this and I have views to I'm a comedian.
I've never claimed to be an expert on anything.
And even him saying like you're taking it personally, it's almost like he's trying to get him into a more emotional state so he can discredit him.
Yeah, it's hard to like him. I gotta be honest, but
when you say words like bemused, that's another point lost for me.
well, and I really do hate this whole. Well, you don't get to have an opinion on it. You shouldn't feel a certain type of way about it because you're not there.
Right.
Like, yeah, but it's my country that's
and
defending it, you know,
because
like
what you do for a living. Like Dave is a comedian for a living, but he can't have an opinion on this.
But he wasn't saying that. Again, he didn't say you can't have an opinion though if you haven't been there. He was pointing out that he holds himself to that what we're talking about, like having a standard of like, how much do I need to know to speak? And he personally is like, I won't talk about a country's policies unless I've been on the ground to also see it, because there are sometimes things you're going to learn on the ground. For example,
that's true.
I'm not saying that does invalidates any of the research and the stuff that Dave's done. It does not. But there are certain things like he pointed out, you know, Dave was saying there's a blockade and nothing gets through. And this was a clip that went way around because he was like, Douglas Murray said, well, okay, but if you go to the cross points, you know, things are getting through. They're taking out anything that could be used to build a rocket, but that things are getting through. And Dave was saying, basically saying, no, with the blockade, nothing's getting in. He's like, well, when's the last time you've been there? That's how this came up, because Dave said, well, he's never been there. And it was like, so then this becomes a huge thing of like, if you've never been there, you can't. I get the jokes. I see the jokes in the super chat. Keri, how can you have an opinion on Dave?
Yeah.
You've never visited him.
But Keri, have you ever been to Rogan?
I have actually. I have. So there, haha.
See, there you go.
Oh, have you? Cool.
Take the right thing for the 20. Keri, unless you are physically at Rogan's studio,
was.
you cannot have an opinion on this issue. Mike came off as very pretentious. The state of Israel is ethnically cleansing Gaza and will sacrifice their people. Hannibal directive. Okay.
No, I
thought for sure that was going to say Hannibal Lecter, so it turned there. Thank you.
Could we play? Do you have time to play, or do you want to move on to the beginning? Because
Of
the
this
beginning,
clip?
no, the whole. I just sent you in the private chat.
I'm going to finish this minute to
Okay,
see
go
if
ahead.
there's anything
Go right ahead.
important.
This is the problem, Joe. I mean, if somebody
Wait a minute,
says
you have to claim to be an expert on something to have an opinion on
no,
something?
you don't have to be.
Like I hear his voice, and I don't want him doing anything other than judging singing competitions. Is that so wrong?
Have to be. But
So what's
this is
the
like
issue?
I'm not a historian, but I'm pumping out history.
But wait a minute,
I'm
what
not
about
an expert,
just-
but I'm talking all the time about
But
this
you're not
thing.
even talking about specifically on what he just said.
No, I'm saying this is my point about this. You say, I'm not an expert.
So what's the solution? To not talk about it?
No, it's to have more experts around.
Well, the expert class hasn't done a great job.
I know.
Man. This is follow the science.
Absolutely,
but you know what?
I agree with that. I just said to you, I agree with that.
Right. I know.
But
So
one
Douglas,
of the problems
during
is,
all of COVID,
fire away.
I will put my track record against any of the expert class on COVID. I'm glad to do that. So should I have just shut up? Should I have shut up by opposing lockdowns and opposing vaxine mandates and talking
that
about
was
the
the
lab leak
argument at the
theory?
time. You realize
that's the
that, right?
entire argument that you're making. Let the experts handle this.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
Dave
not
is
the
great.
argument he's making. He was pointing out earlier. That's why I said, can we go back to the beginning? Because he was pointing out earlier that of late, Rogan has had on people who peddle fringe, new, emerging conspiracy theories, what have you. The examples he gave were Ian Carroll and Daryl Cooper, who we've mentioned. Both of those guys, for example, got one-on-ones, luxurious amount of time to lay out their case. They didn't have to have a historian or someone they're arguing with them. And when he does have someone on, I know there have been other people who I guess are on this issue, what the debate was supposed to be about, Israel and stuff. So apparently he's had people on who are pro-Israel, but that's not the reason they were there to talk about it. But when he has Murray on, who's there to talk about it, just wrote a book about it, there's got to be someone else.
Right.
I think that might have to do with something Rogan talks about in the interview. Rogan talks about audience capture, where Murray is asking them why do people like supposedly on the right, like Jake Shields, who got COVID right, but has now gone on to this Holocaust denial stuff. Why do people like him? Why is he doing this? Why is he going into Holocaust?
So that to
denial?
me just sounds like a person who's salty they don't have a bigger audience.
Kind of. Something like that, at least.
What Murray said?
Yeah, it's to me, if he's saying there should be more experts around, and if he's upset that Dave Smith, who has people want to hear his takes, even though he might not be like the most perfect expert on everything, they're invested in him. They think he's smart. You know what I mean? That's whatever reason you follow the people you follow, you want to hear their takes on things.
I don't think that's what it was. I think he was legitimately, he went on there knowing. See, here's the thing. Given where Rogan's audience is at now, that if it had just been someone on there talking about, making the case for the war in Israel, for example, I think his audience would have really hated it. Maybe I'm wrong about that assumption. And so I think he thought it might be best. And who am I to say? I mean, it's his show and he knows, but I think that might be why there was someone there to argue. And so that sort of audience capture thing, it's like you're if that is happening, you're starting to water one part of the ground more than the other part of the ground because and the whole thing. That's why I think if you're going to watch it, watch the whole 3 hours. If you only watch a short part and you don't understand what I'm saying, watch the first 40 minutes.
I agree with that totally.
Part. But he at the beginning was making this case about,
Hi, Anna.
We're in a new
Hi.
world. Hi, Anna.
Hi.
We're talking about this episode of Joe Rogan where it takes Dave Smith and Douglas Murray, who's British and kind of cunty.
Oh yeah, I watched this whole thing.
You did?
Oh, good. Someone else who's seen the whole thing. Good.
Okay, so the moral of the story: they both agree, they just don't like each other.
Haha.
Interesting. I haven't even heard that take. Well, they did agree on a few things. I know.
No, they literally both don't like wars. It just came off as two people. It's like, okay, we both love chocolate ice cream. Our favorite flavor is chocolate ice cream. Rocky Road sucks, and anything in the middle is like, we need to do more research on. We haven't tried those flavors because we only like chocolate ice cream. But you're a cunt and you're an asshole. And you're arrogant and you're full of yourself. That's all it is. They both agree.
Wow. They definitely have a lot of contempt for each other. Although, actually, to be fair, Murray has more contempt for Smith.
Which one's Murray?
The British one.
British gay.
Okay, yeah. I didn't know who either of these guys were. I just watched Joe Rogan episodes. And then this is the one thing I don't like about his show. He used to like kind of give an intro to his guest, or it was in the description like who the guest was. Now it's like it's just a person on, and maybe halfway through the podcast I'll find out who they are.
Yeah, he did used to do that. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like a little bit of an intro.
Well, it's
Okay,
like
give
for
some
me, like I don't know
context.
who either of these guys are, so it's like I'm just listening, and eventually I'll figure it out through a 3-hour episode.
Carrie, what did you say? Like that was about? Was it the very beginning? Is there
Well,
something
the very
specific?
beginning, I think, will be interesting to anyone if you don't know who these guys are, because I don't think we've seen anything like this. Murray starts off immediately with his arms crossed, and he takes control of the conversation, and he says what I think he chose to come there and say, even though he knew it'd probably be unpopular with the audience. I think he was talking directly to Joe. And just watch this because it's an interesting, personal interaction, viewing.
Joe Rogan podcast, check it out.
Yes, sir.
Joe Rogan podcast, check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night, all day.
All right, we're up. Ladies and gentlemen, good to see you guys. What's happening? Are you going no headphones?
Oh.
Keep the do?
I'm not quite sure what they had, but yeah.
There we go. All right.
I'm not quite sure what they add. The host just said, like, in no uncertain terms, like, you should wear your headphones. No, he goes, I'm not quite sure what they add. I already don't like him.
The goal of this is every time I see people that disagree with anything that's happening, any gigantic world events, it's one of these retarded shows where they're screaming. There's the word again. We brought it. Yeah. We were just talking about that.
You did it early.
The word retarded is back.
Thank
and it's one of the
God.
great culture victories.
Well, yeah. Let's go.
That I think is
For
spurred
some of us, it never left, Joe.
Yeah.
on probably by podcast, but these things are always like Pierce Morgan-y, which is fine, where everyone's screaming over each other and there's 5 different people talking over each other. There's never just rational conversations where you discuss things, and I respect both of you. I think both of you are brilliant, and I bet you agree on a lot of things, and I bet you disagree on a lot of things, and it'd be fascinating to see your perspectives on these things. So that's why you're here together.
Okay.
And
Douglas, can I ask you something?
Yes, sir.
Since the war in Israel began, and since the war in Ukraine began, you've had quite a lot of people who are very against both in different ways.
Yes.
Do you think you've had enough people on who are supportive of either war?
I don't know that word enough, if that's a good word.
Let's say enough people who are on the side of Israel instead of wild critics.
Well, I've had a few. I mean, I believe God Sad is on the side of Israel.
Is it his job to have equal people on both sides of an issue?
No, I think
I don't think so.
Are you tilting either way?
I think I don't know. I think you have on who you want to have on, and if somebody really wants to hear the other side of it, well, then they'll have to just go somewhere else, I guess.
Well, I mean, I feel like most of people in government, most Republicans, most major conservative influencers are all on the side of Israel, and I feel like you hear about it constantly on other platforms. I mean, Murray was just on Ben Shapiro talking about why he believes America should support Israel and why this war is so important. So I guess it just seems odd that he's like coming for Rogan on it specifically when I feel like there's no shortage of people who support Israel, like on the internet in big capacities and on big platforms. That's just my take on it, but
yeah.
Like it's almost like out the gate he's criticizing Rogan. It's like, well, you're wrong for not having, perfectly equal amounts on a topic.
Right. And is Joe Rogan like is he the be all end all? Like is it?
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's many other platforms where people who take Israel's side have plenty of time and freedom and space to talk about their support of it. But
yeah. Okay, hold on. I'll go a little more.
For sure.
Jordan is on the side of Israel.
You had Mike Baker, Coleman Hughes.
Yeah.
Coleman did it for like 20 minutes. So it wasn't why he was here.
No. I mean, none of them. And none of them is why
I don't like him.
It's a good question.
Do you think you've tilted one way?
Me personally?
No, just with the guests you've had.
The guests? Yeah,
He's already trying to make it seem like, well, Rogan, you're pushing you clearly are pushing a narrative here by not having equal amounts. I don't like him. He's a cunt.
Shit, I've been muted. You could just tell the whole time that guy is like not happy.
Yes,
not like either of them.
I think probably if you wanted to come on and make your case, and unlike the fringe theorist, you didn't get a one-on-one to kind of talk about what you wanted to. And there's someone on who he clearly thinks Dave is less intelligent and less knowledgeable than him, but that person is brought on, a friend of the host, to argue with him. I'm just saying that's why this is a fascinating interaction to me, because a lot of people were saying, like even Smith said, he didn't come here to debate. No, it's obvious to all of us from the beginning he did not want to debate you. He wanted to be able to talk to Joe. And so instead of even talking about the issue, like they didn't even get around to a debate about Israel until like almost an hour in. But the first 40 minutes were him talking about this. And the one thing that's very interesting, I think maybe it's 12 minutes, maybe it's 10, somewhere in here. He and Dave agree on what I thought was the most pivotal or the most important part to me was Dave agreed and said, yes, there is a growing racialism. That was Dave's word, Dave Smith's word, a racialism cropping up on the right online. And so at least they had that one point. I would have liked to hear more about, do they disagree on that it's dangerous or dark? That's what Murray called it. He said there's this dangerous and dark, belief system kind of emerging. And he called it dangerous and dark. Dave called it racialism. I would like to know, they probably disagree on whether it's serious or not, whether it's something to be worried or not. They didn't get to talk about if they disagree on that. They didn't talk about like whose responsibility is it to, this whole issue of gatekeeping. I see people even in the chat like, no gatekeeping. That's retarded. The left did not gatekeep at all. They put all of their craziest men can be women people and mask your kid people. They elevated them. They didn't do any gatekeeping, and it almost destroyed our country. It destroyed the Democratic Party and almost destroyed our country. And so I don't believe in that whole like, none of us should make any judgment calls about people and everything's valid. I mean, that to me is postmodernist. That's leftism to me. It's like everyone's equally valid and all opinions are equally valid. And meanwhile, you got people that are talking about like dinosaur bones were put here to fool us. That's ridiculous. No, it's not all equally valid. Like, so I think that was the point.
I think it's the individual. It's the responsibility of the individual to determine what is valid and what isn't, in my opinion.
Yes, I absolutely agree. I agree. And I think maybe he was just saying, have you thought about it? Like in a very public way.
Yeah, right.
Have you thought about it? And I don't know why, if that was his intention, which is what I read into it, why do it publicly? But
it's the first thing he said, though. It's like he's trying to frame it. It just seems to me like that's his intention.
Right. I think it's just less effective, right? It's like maybe if he toned down the condescension a little bit, his point would have been a little bit more effective, Junior, but whatever.
Junior. No more gay Brits pushing their experts. I agree, Junior. Market Reality. Hi, Anna. Good flashcast. It was a good flashcast, and not just because I was on it.
I felt so bad. Somebody was leaving a comment. They're like, Chrissy doesn't give two shits about this. And I was like, oh.
I do. I give 2 or 3 shits about Andor. K-Max, thanks for the 10. Anna, Peter Dinklage said movie parts that require dwarves should no longer hire real life dwarves. Have we seen the end of Little People actors being hired for being little?
Did you see my meme I posted that I was like, I'm going to get canceled for this meme, but I don't care. I'll share my screen. But
is this, Keri, was there anything else that you wanted to hear?
No, and I want to see this meme before I go. I have to go. As I mentioned, I've been a little under the weather, and I heard my husband just got home, and he's supposed to be making me hot spicy soup.
Oh, so, wow! I love that for you.
But I want to see the Peter Dinklage thing first.
Let me get to these 2. I think these were relevant to the Rogan episode conversation. Aaron Smithy for 5. It's like Murray wanted to tell Rogan not to have people on who disagree with him, but didn't have the guts to just say it. I'm with I think that's what I was hearing too.
That's why it's so funny, because people heard different things. Yeah,
which is totally fine.
AJ Fury, if you don't agree, you're not qualified.
I don't honestly think it was that because he concedes at different points when they both realize that they're on the same side. But I mean, if Keri's right and like he was expecting just to talk to Joe and this other guy shows up, I'd be pissed too because Joe barely talks the entire episode. It's just them going back and forth for the whole time.
So he's just moderating.
Not even that. Like he jumps in like maybe once or twice when he's like, oh no, that person like didn't exactly say that. And it became one of those episodes where it's like, well, we got to look this up because we're not going to agree because we're getting caught up on words, which was really frustrating. But it's just two guys that don't like each other, but they agree.
Yeah. Okay.
I like
on
your
the
sweet
overall topic,
interpretation.
they agree.
Let's see here. Peter Dinklage said that
Peter
movies
Dinklage said that movies shouldn't hire actors with dwarfism as a fantasy dwarf, even though the only major franchises in the last 20 years to cast the little people as dwarves both hired Peter Dinklage. This was a reference to the fact that in folklore, dwarves are greedy.
Yeah, he's greedy. Peter Dinklage, he wants all the dwarf roles.
He does. You know what I bet it was, though, with the Snow White thing? I guarantee you he thought he was just going to be told, oh, like, you know, here's the offer, like you can pick whichever dwarf. And
Yes!
he didn't.
He
They
wanted
probably
to
told
be
him he
the-
had to audition, and he got so butthurt that he went on that podcast.
That makes sense. He wants to be the ringleader. He wants to be the CEO, the king of the little people. He wants to be the president of midgetry. And I think he was butthurt that they weren't just like, whatever you think, Peter, you can be head midget, do whatever you want.
He got so successful being a little person actor, and then it's like he pulled the stepladder up with him.
Listen, he has no room to talk after starring in Tiptoes. Have you ever seen Tiptoes, Chrissy?
No.
Okay, me and my sisters loved watching it. It's one of the cringiest movies. So it's with Matthew McConaughey and Kate Beckinsale, and Gary Oldman plays a dwarf, so he walks around on his knees the whole movie.
And then, right. I think you did tell me about this.
Wait, that's crazy.
But Peter Dinklage is in it, and it's like, bruh, you really want to give Snow White and the Seven Dwarves shit? You were in Tiptoes.
Yeah. Well, this actually goes, okay, Keri, I know you wanted to sashay. Thank you so much for coming on here while being sick, by the way.
Well, I told you I'd come, and I was like, I'm doing it. Plus, I'm feeling a lot better than I was yesterday. So,
good.
But I was very nice to meet you, Cherry.
Yeah, you
Good
too.
to see you, Anna, and you look so glowy. You have this mom.
You do.
I'm like, I just changed my shirt and I'm covered in spit up.
You can't tell.
I'm covered. Like I thought, oh, I avoided the whole spit up thing because like Frankie doesn't really like spit up his milk, but he touches me when he's sticky, when he has like sticky food hands. But I have pieces of food on every shirt I ever have. And I would not to sound like I'm a dirty person, but I would wear a shirt a couple times because like, you know, you have days where you like don't sweat or work out or whatever. Like you can wear it a couple times, but no, not when it's covered in sticky food.
Well, bye, ladies.
Oh,
bye.
my
Have a good night seeing you.
Feel better.
Feel better.
Thank you.
Enjoy your hot soup.
That sounds really good. Hot soup.
I appreciate her. I was like, I can't believe you're coming on, even though you're sick.
Yeah.
Let me pull this up. I've because it's related to Snow White and God, this is almost. I think I have I covered this? Let's see. I just think it's a funny topic. Snow White producer Mark Platt's Nepo baby son Jonah unleashes explosive tirade against woke Rachel Zegler.
You can tell whose side this person's on there.
I love the Daily Mail. They're very biased all the time. Jonah Platt, the son of the filmmaker, film producer Mark Platt, has unleashed an explosive tirade against woke Snow White actress Rachel Zegler. The 38-year-old, who was Mark's eldest child, took to Instagram in a now deleted post to brand Zegler, 23, as immature and insinuate that she has narcissistic tendencies, which is something anybody just paying a little bit of attention knows by now. In the wake of an article published by Variety on Tuesday, and this is like a couple weeks ago, which stated that Mark had flown to New York to speak to the actress about her controversial social media posts. One fan left a comment on Jonah's Instagram. It read, "Your dad flew to New York City to reprimand a young actress. Any words on this? Because that's creepy as hell and uncalled for. People have the right to free speech. No, shame on your father." That's a horrible take. She was jeopardizing she clearly did jeopardize the movie, the franchise. The Disney stock plummeted after Snow White came out.
Oh, did it?
Oh yes. And who knows? Maybe it'll bounce back, but just
I'm not gonna lie. I loved this. I don't know anything about
You
this
like
guy.
Snow White?
No. I loved his lashing at her. I just
Oh.
thought it was like finally.
What?
No, I haven't even seen it, to be honest.
Okay, I thought you said that you liked Snow White. I was gonna be like, well,
No.
you're the first person. Jonah, whose younger brother, Ben Platt, I enjoy him, is an actor and a singer, shot back with an angry rant which began, "You really want to do this?" Yeah, my dad, the producer of an enormous piece of Disney IP with hundreds of millions of dollars on the line, had to leave his family to fly across the country to reprimand his 20-year-old employee for dragging her personal politics into the middle of promoting for the movie, for which she signed a multi-million-dollar contract to get paid and do publicity for. The host of the Being Jewish podcast continued, saying her actions clearly hurt the film's box office. I just don't understand how Rachel Zegler, where the confidence comes from. Like, she clearly is someone who's never had to work for like a slice of pizza or like a drink ticket.
Have you seen her YouTube channel, Chrissy?
Oh, she has a YouTube.
She has a YouTube
It's
channel.
we found it on Flashcast before
No.
months ago. No, there's a video where she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm filming this, but me and my friend were just gonna go fly to Africa for a day to Morocco just to go shopping."
Stop it.
She comes back and she's
No.
like, "Oh, so the news is out. I got cast as a Disney princess. It's not Jasmine though. It's Snow White."
What is her background? What is her
She's
deal?
a spoiled, rotten brat that's a
must-
theater kid. That's her background.
We must
Wow.
follow her YouTube. Oh,
Is Snow White her
See?
debut role? Has she been in other things?
She was in West Side Story, which flopped, and she was Maria,
Okay.
so she was the lead in that.
Interesting, because I hadn't heard of her until the whole Snow White thing.
Oh my god! A glamorous week in the life of a really hot, in-demand, famous movie star. This is 3 years ago. What has she done lately?
No, she hasn't posted anything lately. She posted while she was filming Snow White. You can see by her hair, unless she took it down. But
I ran away from my problems for 72 hours.
that's it. That's where she goes to Morocco.
Okay.
Same.
Why?
A while. What's up? My name is Rachel Zegler. Welcome back to my channel. I'm an actor. If you're new,
It doesn't even make sense that she would have a YouTube channel. Why?
I am so confused.
She's been doing this since before she got famous. So she doesn't
Okay.
post anything now. But I've been meaning to go back and get the clip where she's just like, "Oh yeah, I'm a Disney princess, but it's not Jasmine." All disappointed that she got stuck as Snow White.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
new here. If you're not, I'm anyone you want me to be. I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. But I'm Snow White. And
See?
not Princess Jasmine.
So she wanted to be
Oh, you can tell she's genuinely disappointed.
Yeah, it's "Oh, you're gonna be a Disney princess, oh, but I'm not the one I want to be."
But they're
Wow.
not doing. Did they ever?
They did.
do a
They
live?
did Aladdin.
She should have been Jasmine, though.
That would've made
that
more
would've been
sense.
made more sense. Yeah.
No, they got some actual Arab chick to be Jasmine.
Oh, well,
She's
that's
like,
probably
oh,
better.
she's like,
Who has
I'll
a much
be-
better personality.
Meanwhile,
and is older. One of the things about Snow White is she's one of the younger princesses. And
Yeah.
Rachel obviously looks very young, and she is very young. So
and acts very young, sounds young, and she's like, "I'll be whatever ethnicity you want me to be."
Right.
Jasmine. I don't know why I'm doing this. I was having a conversation with my boyfriend the other day. And he was like, "Don't you miss editing videos?" And I was like, "Kinda." So this is a trial run. I miss editing them. I don't miss posting them. The internet is not my biggest fan. It never has been, but especially isn't these days. I've made some stupid choices.
And this was a year ago.
But I don't think anything to warrant the amount of negativity that I see on the daily. So this is just me showing you that I'm alive. I'm going on a trip this weekend to Marrakesh and Morocco for the Jubilee. I thought maybe I could document it. This might be a terrible idea. It might go really wrong, but I miss you guys and just wanted to say hi. So,
wow.
Hi.
Oh, they have her hair all flattened out for Snow White.
it's the worst. Did you see that
It's raining.
photo shoot she did where her hair's all big and curled like Snow White? I'm that looks good. You should have done it. I'll see if I can find it.
Oh boy.
big shocker there. I'm shooting in London and it's raining. Just got my hair clipped. It looks like I just look like Dark Helmet from Space.
No, not at all.
My Golden Globe in the background. They just
Okay.
Oh, it's just my Golden Globe. I didn't pick up. Ugh.
I can't.
my casting in the Hunger Games prequel as Lucy Gray Baird. Which if you don't,
She was actually okay in that. I wish I didn't hear about like how insufferable she was through all the Snow White press. Like if none of that existed, I would have been like, oh yeah, she did a pretty good job in the Hunger Games.
Oh, she was in Hunger Games.
I couldn't be more thrilled. I'm so excited, and yet simultaneously, people are telling me to die, and I'm
yes. Welcome to being
because
a public
you
figure.
insulted them. I don't
Yeah,
know.
right.
Oi.
doing laundry.
I feel like every time the camera goes back to her, her eyes are even further apart.
Oh my
here's her going
gosh.
to her gate.
Hey guys, where's the plane?
Ew, she's wearing a mask. at
Of
the
course she
airport.
is.
Yikes. Oh, camels. Wow, that looks bougie as F.
Yeah.
Wow, it's like you can hear the outdoor birds in your outdoor hotel.
Being like, I don't know, Holland Park. You feel like you could be in Holland Park with the palm trees around? Yeah.
And those, I don't even know exotic sounding birds.
Yeah. What is she saying?
She's going, look at my black friend, everyone.
Right.
I feel like a mom on vacation.
God forsaken.
This is a little boring. Okay, then
Yeah,
what?
no, she's super boring. It's the stuff in the beginning was the best part, but it's like,
okay.
look at like again, spoiled rotten brat.
For real.
So her parents have money?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know anything about her, so this is an
Well,
interesting.
I can't remember which. I'm pretty sure her mom is like Italian and her mom's like super white, and then her dad's like Puerto Rican or something. So like she gets the DEI card, but it's like, girl, you.
Yeah, yeah. She
Like, there's no
she's
life.
hardly DEI, honestly. But
Yeah, she went to like a theater school. She's
Mhm.
been in theater. Like her parents basically financed her career her entire
Wow.
life. Like you're not the same.
Interesting.
Share the link that I posted in the private chat.
Her face. Just her face.
she kind of has that smug look going on too.
It's like auto smug.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. Oh God, I can't. Okay, let's see. Oh, you're right. This is beautiful.
Yeah, see, if that's how she would have looked in Snow White, I think it would have done better.
Wow.
Share your screen. Yeah.
Oh my God. The
Look
night
at
and
that.
day.
Gorgeous.
That's light years better than the stupid hair that they gave her. Scroll over. There's like a video at the very
Her
end.
makeup looks good though too.
Mm-hmm. She doesn't look ridiculous.
Oh, how cute.
Keep going.
Yeah, she actually looks very pretty there.
I know. They did her dirty with that stupid hairdo.
Wow.
And she even says, like, just an homage to the original Snow White. It's like, instead of the Lord Farquaad hair, we could have had this.
Yeah. Oh my God. It was flat. It was very flat. Okay. I'm pausing this because we have a very special guest waiting in the wings to give us a quick update on some goings on in his neighborhood. Welcome, it's Frankie McDonald.
It's me, Frankie, down once again. Popeye's Chicken's under construction. They put the sign up already.
Who's been patiently waiting in the waiting room. When we had you last on, Frankie, I was being a little critical of the Popeyes, and you're coming to us from Sydney, Nova Scotia, by the way, for
Yeah.
those of you who don't know.
I'm at Opener Park in Sydney right now. That means Popeyes is still under construction. They put the sign up and things like this already.
And I was critical of the Popeyes because it had been like many weeks of zero progress, and I was telling Frankie that I had lost all hope for this Popeyes. I said maybe they lost funding. They never are going to get their act together. But sure enough, He sent me these photos, and look, the Popeyes is looking like a Popeyes already.
Benny, hi, Cherry.
Hi.
Here.
Yeah.
I'm Frankie, though. I'm doing great. So I'll say hi to Star Wars girl.
Yes. Look at that. Okay. What else is going on? So they have the letters up. Do people even know what Louisiana is in Canada?
And Louisiana's in the southern states. Louisiana chicken is a hot and spicy chicken.
Okay.
True.
Well, you know. Do the rest of Canadians know? Maybe some of them don't get out much.
They get a Popeyes headquarters in Ontario in Canada.
Okay. Wow. So when are they going to open?
Really soon now. They put the sign up already.
The sign is up.
They took the fence down.
They took the fence down, which means, right, you can walk right up to it and put your face on the glass.
Yeah.
It's getting real.
It is getting real. What are you going to order, Frankie, when they're finally open?
It's like a 3-piece snack of spicy chicken. They sell spicy chicken tenders and things like this. They sell fries and they sell Coca-Cola there. And they sell spicy chicken, Louisiana hot chicken and things like this.
Ooh, yum.
You have to try their biscuits. Their biscuits are amazing.
Yeah.
Derek C. for 5, does Frankie have an alibi regarding the PA governor's residence? Oh, I was going to ask you about this. The PA, the Pennsylvania governor's residence was firebombed, Frankie, and people are wondering if you did it.
I didn't do it at all. That'll be on Gino's podcast tomorrow.
Okay. I believe you for now.
Okay. That'll be on Gino's in Hot Water Show tomorrow. Gino will be starting in the Hot Water Show tomorrow, Tuesday and Wednesday.
Oh, awesome. Thank you for the plug. What is new in the city, Nova Scotia? What is the temperature like now? Do you guys even have a spring, or did it just go from like...
That means it's starting to gradually in spring now. This winter and spring fighting each other. The temperature in Sydney, Nova Scotia right now is plus 1 degree Celsius. That's above freezing in my area.
That sounds cold still, though.
That means it's cold in southern Ontario too. It's cold. It's going to get cold in Ohio and all those places. And Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire already had snow.
So, Cherry, tell him where you're located, and he can tell you the weather.
I'm in Minneapolis,
I'm at
Minnesota.
Sydney, Nova Scotia. Over to get warm air, cold air, fight each other in Minnesota. It's really, really cold in Minnesota right now too. In southern Ontario, it's going to get really cold. In Kentucky, Tennessee, all the way down to Georgia and Alabama.
Boy. Great. It just got nice here, so that's good.
Frankie, I'm in New York. What's the weather like in New York?
Lots of rain and cold temperatures hitting for New York too, where Gino is at.
Me too. Yep, it was rainy all day yesterday for the baby's birthday. We didn't get to go outside. Oh, your son, Frankie, your son turned 1 a couple days ago.
Wait, that's not true. Somebody edited it. There's people doing that out there.
Aw. Okay, cool. What else is new, Frankie? You're getting recognized a lot. You have tons of fans.
Yes, I got lots of fans that encountered me, and then the people getting recognized. And I'm getting recognized by people and things like this. People recognizing me.
Yeah, you're the most famous person in Canada, I think.
Definitely.
Oh, for sure. When does it actually start getting warm in Canada?
Pretty soon. That means warm air, cold air fighting each other. And once again in the month of May, then again, sometimes it could go up to 30 degrees Celsius at some point in May, then it cool right back down to 15 degrees.
Okay. Yeah, don't move to Canada, people, if you want tropical weather.
Or freedom.
Or
that means in October and November, the temperature can go up to 20 degrees Celsius in October, and even November in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Sometimes it's a fall-like weather in December. It's not winter-like weather yet in Sydney, Nova Scotia in December.
When is that monster truck show? Is that coming up?
Yes, on June 7th, 2025. You got the link to Ticketmaster.
Ooh, where is it?
I can send you the link to Ticketmaster.
Oh, okay. Where's the show? Where's the monster truck show?
Center 200 in Sydney.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you'd have to go to Canada for that. But I am excited. If I can't make it, Frankie, give us a full recap. Take a lot of pictures. He's stuck.
I'm looking at And then Senator Warren City.
Is Frankie, is the seat next to you still like not taken yet? Because for a while there was an empty seat next to you. Oh no, he's gone.
I'm just doing a lot. There's a lot of options.
Okay. There's a lot of options. So if you guys
I
want to,
got it. I found a link.
okay.
There's a Monster Madness tour. I sent you a link.
Oh my God, you're so technologically adept. It blows me away. Okay. Wow. So we'll quickly bring this up. If you guys are interested in joining Frankie McDonald at the Monster Truck Show, what section are you sitting in, Frankie?
6.
Ooh, 6. That's a gray section.
There's a lot of seats in section 5.
6 and 5. You're in 6. Woo!
Look at that.
Which seat are you in?
I'm in section 6, row I.
What seat?
And row I, C15.
Oh my God, it's still available. Wow. If you guys want to sit next to Frankie McDonald, it's only $52 and you could sit next to Frankie. This is I can't believe this is still available.
That's a steal.
Wow. And if you're in a couple, then throw your wife in the row, in the row in front of you, and you can sit next to Frankie, or vice versa. Wow. How cool. All right, guys. Well, go to Ticketmaster. You have some time between now and June 7th. Very exciting. Is there any particular type of truck you're interested in seeing, Frankie?
All different monster trucks, they revving up and driving over cars and things like this, doing bike stunts and things like this.
Even the Canadian ones?
They got Canadian and American.
I would imagine the Canadian monster trucks, they drive up to the truck and they go, "I'm so sorry," and then they just drive around it instead of driving over it. You're so polite. Cool.
If you want to follow me on social media, my blue sky is at Frankie MacD. My ex formerly Twitter is at Frankie MacD. My link tree is Frankie McDonald. My thread is at Frankie MacD94. My Facebook is Frankie McDonald. My Instagram is Frankie MacD94. My TikTok is FrankDonald94. My Clash is FrankDonald94. My Twitch is FrankDonald94. My Snapchat is Frankie MVCDON. My YouTube channel is Ox Wolves, and my LinkedIn is Frankie McDonald. Best luck there. I'm Frankie McDonald. You're listening to SimpCast.
Love you, Frankie. Thank you so much for the update. Congrats. Oops. Well,
bye.
Got the hell out of here quickly. Now I feel bad. He was in the waiting room when we were talking about like the very boring Israel-Palestine topic.
Oh, that would have been a nice transition.
And I was like, I can't bring him in during that. It's gonna be like
insane.
I also was like, we have to somehow finish it. I don't know. It's classic Frankie, giving all his love and skedaddling, but it's cold out there. We can't have him standing out there for too long. Gonna blow through a couple through these supers. N-word, very funny. N-word snowman, thanks for the 5. Examine the song Coexist with My Fist. I've never heard of that song. Push-ups for 5. And is I'll save this till she gets back. The world's biggest hoe. For 2, Rachel Zegler needs to crawl back under her rock.
Agreed.
GJJ, thanks for being a member for 20 months. Stewie felt, I like how Metzger calls Zegler that square head girl. She does have a square head. Holly movie star for 5. Watch the documentary American Radical, The Trials of Norman Finkelstein. This is when I first learned of the Palestine-Israel issue 16 years ago. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's been a thing. I mean, obviously for years,
for a minute.
But
yeah, I just can't. I can't get myself to care about it. But maybe a documentary is what I need.
Yeah, it's such a complex issue, and because this is a conflict that's been going on for thousands of years. Like, it's just very hard to wrap your head around. And I'm with you, Chrissy. Like, I'm sorry. Is this an American problem?
Every time I see it, I'm like, who cares? Why is it so important?
I kind of feel like that's the psyop. It's like, guys, look over here. at all these other countries and don't look at America and what we're like messing up here. Look over there instead. Like that's how it feels to me. But
for a second, Sherry, I thought you were naked, and I was like, wait a second, she just been
naked.
topless the whole time. No, it's skin colored. I love it. Mark of reality for 2. My money belongs to me, not the ruling class. Thank you, Mark. Russell Hall, it's always a vagina. Every ink blot is a vagina. Thank you, Russell. Very inappropriate as always. Stewie Felt, my avatar is an animated Chinese beaver. Look it up. It's hilarious.
What?
Russell Hall for 2. He juggle flame. Oh, this is back to bonk. He juggles flaming axes and chainsaws, Chrissy. Oh, I'm aware.
Yeah, we're all aware.
Derek C for 10. Chrissy, did you say you have an upcoming show in Phoenix? If so, when? I do. I'm so excited. The last and first time I was in Phoenix was to do that Turning Point USA event. I guess that was right before I gave birth. But now, I think the club is the mic drop. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, it's, oops, I didn't check the date. I think it's September 1st. November 1st, I'll be in Phoenix. Very exciting. Nice. Hello, K-Max. Thanks for the 5. Chrissy, is X blowing up on you again over pilots? Yes. Every airplane ride you take from now on, can you selfie the pilots? Yes, it's my duty. Cherry, I got into a little bit of hot water because this is not even a new thing for me. It's just, you know how it goes. It's always the tweet that you least care about that ends up like going viral and getting people upset with you. So I just like took a picture of the pilot of the cockpit like I kind of always do, and I posted it. And I was like on one of my flights to Indiana. I said, if I don't make it, blame DEI. And it was like a black guy in the cockpit. And I have people following me to my Instagram just to write nasty comments, and you got to hand it to them. They're very determined. Like they'll write shitty comments under like my old birth announcement, under like completely unrelated posts.
It's 2025. Like, are we still doing this? Like,
Yeah.
Are we really gonna act like we care about DEI and racism? Like, come on. It's 2025. We're over that. Trump's in office. Move on.
Triggered by DEI, that just tells me that I'm right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you don't need DEI to get into whatever industry you need to get into, well, then you weren't that qualified. Is that crazy?
I'll never forget. One of my reacting to woke TikTok videos I did a while ago. One of the videos I reacted to was this black girl, and she was like sitting in her office at work, and she had music playing in the background, and she had written like wondering like if I actually like belong here or if I was just hired here because of my skin color. And I'm like, exactly. Like DEI, affirmative action, all of that is racist. Like now this poor girl has no idea if she actually like deserves her job or not. She's having an existential crisis at work.
And it stinks because she probably is a product of DEI. Like if you're thinking that,
exactly,
you're probably right.
Exactly. You know? So I'm not for it. Sorry. Got to earn your way through life. It's just how it works.
Here's my tweet. Thank you, Fealty. Fealty is just Johnny on the spot here with, okay, I feel like I've shown this to every show I've been on. But important announcement. On my way to Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I see the pilot in the cockpit. If I don't make it, blame DEI. And you know what? Like, he's young. He looks fit. And I chuckled to myself because this is the co-pilot seat. The pilot seat had an old white guy in it. So that's
how it should be.
That's why I didn't walk off the plane in a huff. I was like, I'll just snap this little picky do.
I see nothing wrong with this post. Yeah, my husband travels a lot for work and he flies and stuff. And for a while there, I was like, maybe you should drive. You know?
Oi. Oh, you guys want to see some of the replies? Okay. Let's see. Sort them by, never mind. Oh, I forgot how to use Twitter. Okay. This was, This was the biggest comment. So now it's socially acceptable to be openly racist against a man for the color of his skin. Again,
Yes.
say a bad word about Israel and you get the wrath of the state. Clown world never ends. It just morphs, always shifting back and forth from left to right, right to left. I just said, I don't know. I've always been like this.
Take a joke. Oh my gosh. These people are just so.
And then, but on the internet though, would you do that in front of a black man you don't know? Yes, I would.
She just did.
Yeah.
Did she stutter?
I didn't know that guy. I still don't know him. And I don't understand this meme,
I don't-
but I appreciate the effort that someone put into putting my face there.
What is that?
I don't know. It looks like someone's wearing a Chrissy mask.
What the hell is that? Oh my gosh.
Don't know. It's a little bit nightmare fuel, but that's what I wrote. We're okay. I still feel the same way. It's a lot of it's white women crashing the planes. Guess what? I will agree with you because women are also part of DEI.
Exactly.
Overtly
Like you don't see me
racist.
flying a plane.
Yeah, overtly racist. Goodbye.
Bye.
Pizza. I don't think they ever. And then they blocked me because I was like, well, okay. That's not DEI. That's Black excellence. Are these even funny comments? Bet that flight cool as hell though.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, women that cannot land planes or perform comedy for that matter. I am sure that man that you are trying to roast is way more qualified to fly that plane than you are to, quote, do comedy.
God, here we go with the experts again.
Sit down and buckle up, female Mersh. Okay, that must be the only other comedian that he knows. That's why I'm comparing. What's that beeping? This is great. I love this.
That's funny.
And that's the thing. If you are triggered by DEI, then you know that some people are getting in that maybe don't entirely deserve it, right? Why else would you be triggered?
It's either that or, people just love playing victim. They love getting triggered, feeling like a victim, even if it doesn't affect them. That's just always going to be the case, I think, unfortunately.
I agree so much with this Dusty Durden comment. This is what was sad about DEI. Now every competent person of color is going to be second guessed of their abilities. Congrats, liberals. 100%.
Exactly. That's exactly the video that I reacted to. I mean, she was like, that was like a serious video. Like she wasn't trying to be funny.
Yeah. Fort Wayne doesn't really need any more ugly bitches, Chrissy. We have plenty already. Woo, well, they got one more with me that week.
No. Absolutely not. You were beautiful.
Comedian. Oh, thank you. Comedian, just say racist. You're racist, stupid effing cunt. I said, you guys act like I invented DEI. Wow. DEI benefits white women the most, you stupid fat bitch.
Yeah, no one's disagreeing.
Ooh. Okay.
It just doesn't stop.
It doesn't. And I go, we landed. I don't know. People just take themselves way too seriously.
It's like insane. I'm so miffed that people are still this offended and triggered. Like in 2025, I don't know. I guess I just thought like Trump got in. I thought the culture shifted a bit more, but guess I'm wrong.
No, I think the people that are easily triggered are always going to be easily triggered, no matter who is in office. I think it would take several decades of I don't know if messaging is the right word, but
undoing.
To undo it for this kind of behavior to be like mocked and shamed, that you feel like embarrassed to kind of be seen as like some kind of a victim,
Yeah, unfortunately, I think we opened Pandora's box there, and it's going to take a lot to close it. When you give people a reason, an excuse to be offended.
Okay, this is a very old Instagram post. This is from when I was at Target when they were promoting the tuck bathing suits. Like,
this
might have been 2 summers ago. Right, because last summer I was pregnant. 2 summers ago. This is the tuck bathing suit that Alex Stein famously put on and like ran around in the Target.
Of course.
And then so they found this old ass post to then comment on my tweet. They're gonna come and deal with me on Instagram. I never will understand this. I do understand it. It's because Instagram is a very low IQ app.
Yeah.
And the people that are not on Twitter, they're on Instagram. They're like, oh, I can't handle words. I just need pictures.
Yeah, Instagram is a very volatile app. I've noticed.
It is.
It didn't used to be. I don't know what happened there.
It's why I'm not on TikTok. It's like, okay, Instagram is kind of stupid enough. So Amanda K says, is this the attention you wanted? Any attention is good attention, right? I hope your career flops and you realize you are a product of DEI. See, that's funny.
Yeah. But also like chill out.
Yeah. Women are a minority, but I guess you assume your skin color is your golden ticket. Hope you have strong knees. That seems so unrelated. First of all, I think every woman should have strong knees, not just white women.
It's a good skill to have.
Her knees are probably heavily calloused already, so the padding is built in. First of all, do you even understand how knees worked? Like your knees don't become calloused. That's like something like that's just on your skin, like your hands and feet. Wow, no, that's so stupid. When did you have your transition surgery? Didn't go well. I'd sue that medical team. The laws are in your favor. Oh, sick burn.
I get that all the time too from the triggered libs. They're like, you look trans. I'm like, I thought you liked trans people.
That's how I know they think I'm attractive, because that is, from what I've seen, is like what people say when they have no idea what to make fun of.
Totally.
Oh, did you transition?
Well, and hey, a lot of trans people, like Blair White. Okay, I mean, she's gorgeous.
She did
I'll
it
take
right.
it as a compliment.
You are considered DEI genius. Oy. They don't understand that like, there's no like comedy recruitment team. It's like the people who do comedy are just the people who don't quit. Like the people who, you start doing open mics and shows. There's no gatekeeping. There's no people saying like to do or not do comedy. It's just like
you just are.
You just are. You don't have to take any kind of test.
Class.
Yeah, I mean, I did take classes when I was just starting out, but yeah, it's kind of like the market decides whether or not you have a career. Like if you can't get anyone to ever come to your shows, then you're not going to be doing it, I guess.
Exactly.
I had
not
to
like
come,
music.
I had to come to your Instagram to see who you even were. As suspected, a nobody pretending to be a somebody. Oof.
Jeez.
The internet is like the army. You can be all you want to be. What? These comments.
Are these the people that found your Instagram?
Yes, these are people on my Instagram responding to a tweet.
Oh my god! So how I painted your eye, and then like what you shared it on yours. So I got people saying like cunt or something on the eye. So I had to go and hide those comments because I'm like, it's not just on it's on like my profile and your profile. And I'm like, what the fuck?
She's got a cunty eye.
Yeah.
That's
I feel like that's a compliment.
Yes. It's a shame how black people live rent free in your head. Because that's how they live rent free, just generally. Let the hate keep eating you alive. It's not that they're living rent free, they just refuse to pay the rent. Grow up. Y'all hate on hate is not it. I hope you had a blessed flight. Okay.
Okay. You
Girl,
too, man.
You have damaged hair. You in the wrong section of the store. First of all, Target doesn't sell wigs or weaves of any type.
You should have responded that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I should have. Oh, shoot. I would, but Filthy's looking at my Instagram. I would just be like, respond to him. Just another clan Karen. What? They're going to write.
Another what, Karen?
They say that I'm in the clan.
Oh.
Which is, we're supposed to, not out each other, okay? Please do us all a favor and don't reproduce. Too late.
Yeah.
Imagine being so obsessed with others' body anatomy in a weird way and being racist. Yikes. Wait, what? Oh, they're both commenting on the photo and the tweet in the same comment? All right. Okay, they're trying to be relevant.
I can't believe this is all on the same photo.
Oh, it's so much. It's so much.
Isn't this like an old photo too from years ago?
This is at least 2 or 3 years old. Wow. I haven't even looked at these comments because I'm kind of barely on Instagram. Wow. Okay. I bet your flight landed perfectly too. Got racist, got receding hairline. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I have a regular hairline.
Can you look at any of these people's profiles?
I feel like the trash. Yes.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like the people that go and insult you on Instagram and then you look at their photos and you just
they're
like regret your
retarded.
dream.
Yeah.
Let's go to the crickets.
They're always ugly. They're always broke.
I can't.
And alone. Like, don't come for me because I don't want to have to come for you, and I will.
I don't have time to come for these people.
Well, yeah, especially this many. It's like,
yeah.
Jeez.
How many comments? Kildy, can you scroll to see the number of comments? Is that even? Oh my God, it's just so many. You look like Penny. Wow, it's a lot. It's a lot. This is why people say women aren't funny. Oh my God.
Look at it. It just doesn't stop.
Oh my God. I can't believe it's this many. Oh my God. Oh my God. What? It never ends.
Well, it's good engagement for you at least.
Oh my God. It's so many. Wow. Okay.
Hey there, at least they're giving you engagement. Are you what is it called? Monetized on Instagram?
No.
Dang.
Oh, you should do that. You're losing money.
Yeah.
Should I be? Okay.
Yeah.
It's the lamest thing you could possibly say to. I thought you were supposed to be funny. Oh.
Yeah. Like, oh, I haven't heard that before. Come on.
Yeah, very unoriginal. God, you look terrifying. Wait. God, you look terrifying. Are you sure? Oh, they're commenting on Kumia's. Okay. Not even funny.
I just like, I'm sorry.
Wow.
Some of y'all need to get a life. Like, this is crazy.
Oh no, my short with Frank Valbiro. They went on his channel. Oh my God. That's so funny. This article that interviewed me. Your career is over after that racist post.
Okay, well, you guys don't know her career.
No, this happens about every 6 months. It's truly not a big deal.
No, it means, honestly, when something goes this viral, you've done something right.
It's so stupid. Oh my God, what a long comment. Oh, all right. Okay, that's insane. Like, I hadn't even looked at these comments. What's up, Zato? Thanks for the 2. Zato Strain, I don't understand, but thank you. Colton for 5. Cherry is 1. Spicy Latina.
Quarter.
That's enough.
Yeah, it's enough. DEI.
Derek C for 10. Chrissy, did you say you have an? Oh, I already did that. Thank you. Push-ups. She's gone. Isaac, her 2. I'm a ginger. I'm just here supporting my people. Thank you, Isaac. We have to stick together, ginger brother. Jeremy Parker's for 10. As always, Cherry can literally teach a Mohican how to build a tent in the proper way. Please forgive me while my hungry eyes feast upon the banquet of your sumptuous décolletage.
Oh, well, thank you. That's a very intense compliment.
Very intense. Isaac Vanderbilt, I think 20% of America's presidents are redheads. Really?
Chrissy for president. Let's go.
Vote for me. Mitchell Arnold, I came here for a healthy dose of feminine perspective. Y'all didn't disappoint. Take my money. I thought for sure this was going to be turning into an insult, Mitchell, but it didn't. Thank you. Russell Hall for 5. How is it a compliment to say that someone's eye looks like a cunt?
Oh, well, if you're on TikTok, you know that being called cunt is actually a good thing.
Yeah.
It means you're stylish.
It's a British compliment. Oh, what's up, Sam? Sam is the homie. Burger King crown guy went viral for a while ago for saying the N word on a plane. He's pretty legendary. I'm part West African, I can say, and anytime I want. Oh, that's funny.
Okay.
Okay, that makes sense. What's up, Keri R? This is the kind of stuff that makes me want to watch you more. Entertainers need thick skin, and you have some of the thickest and can fire back. Thank you. Well, because you do this long enough to realize it really doesn't matter, and they really are just comments for the most part. Like, worst case scenario,
If anything, it means you're doing something right since you get under that many people's skin.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna say the absolute worst case scenario for doing this for a living is like getting swatted, right? But most of the time it's just people commenting stupid comments.
Totally.
Thank you, Russell. Stolen Ginger Valor. Hello, Ass Pennies. It's been too long. Hi, girls. Hope you're all well. I just remember his name because it's Ass Pennies.
How can you not?
From push-ups for 5. And is the only person who's become more beautiful after surviving a chest burster.
Chest burster. It's Buster. Thank you.
He wrote burster.
I know.
First of all, push-ups, this is going to earn you a ban because you are more than aware that I too have given birth. And it is almost like you're saying that I have become less beautiful.
Technically, Chrissy, you and I did it different ways. I actually had it like ripped out of me. You actually gave birth.
But first of all,
cheated.
Do you really feel that way, that it's cheating?
Kind of. Well, because everyone talks about it, and I'm just like, I just had like a quick 15-minute surgery.
But it's also surgery. I mean, that's
I know, but I've
a big
had
deal.
surgery before. Like, when I think about like screaming and like contractions, like I never did any of that. So it was just 15 minutes, and then my baby was there. I got gypped.
No, just take the W.
That's actually really funny because I remember before I gave birth, I was like really I didn't want any drugs. I did kind of want to feel the pain because I was curious, like how bad is it going to get? Like, how much can I handle? So I understand the curiosity.
Well, I had one contraction, but it wasn't like birth. It was like one of those before you go into labor, because we went up to Northern California to see our family, and driving home, like my husband drove, so I was in the passenger seat, and the way that I was like sitting, there was no way to get comfortable, and I was dying. And that night I couldn't get comfortable. And then it was like my belly became like, when you like suck all the air out of a bag and you can just see the indent.
Oh,
so it was like that. So I could just see the indent of like my baby. And I like went into the bathroom, and I was like, like I thought I was going to die. It hurt so bad. And I was like, okay, if this lasts for more than an hour, I'm going to wake him up and we got to go to the emergency room. But it stopped after an hour. So I was like, okay. And when I told my doctor, she's like, oh yeah, that's a contraction. I was like, and people go through this for hours.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I remember, when they put me on Pitocin, which is what they put you on to make your contractions, I guess, like more frequent, but also way more intense. And it's almost like I wish I could have done birth without drugs so I could see how the contractions would have been like without drugs, like how strong they would have been on their own. But it was wild. And I did that for 4 hours of contractions, like just like that. And sometimes it would be like every few minutes, but for a long time, it was like every 3 minutes you get a contraction. That's like maybe a minute long.
Wow.
So they were like, I remember at one point they were like, you could, it's a crazy feeling. It's unlike anything else I've ever felt, like, but you can feel them coming on, and it's like, it's pretty, I don't know, there's something pretty cool about tolerating a lot of pain. I don't know. Maybe that's like the German in me.
Oh, it definitely is. I was going to say that is the most German thing I've ever heard.
That's cool because like you got to like feel what it was like to have a baby. I was just like,
I was throwing up. I dug my nails into the nurse's forearms while the epidural guy came in and like shot. Did you have an epidural?
They have to for the C-section. So I told the guy, I was like, listen, I have a really fast metabolism, so I'll burn how long is it supposed to last? And he told me, I'm like, I'm gonna burn it off in half that time. And he's like, no, you aren't. And so they give you a shot so you can or at least the one that they gave me, they give you the shots so you can take the epidural. And he's like, "Hey, you're not supposed to feel this." Second, he starts giving me the one that I'm not supposed to feel. I start screaming, and he's like, "What?" I'm like, "I can feel that."
Oh,
what kind of a shot was it?
I don't know, really freaking long one.
Oh yeah.
So wait, they give you that, and then they give you the epidural seat.
Yeah, because I guess because you have to be numb from like here down.
Oh,
and so then
right.
they start poking you like, "Can you feel this? Can you feel this?" And they just keep poking you with a needle until you can't feel it anymore.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it's like, because you could still
They didn't
move,
do
right?
that for me. I don't remember any poking. I think because I was screaming and I was like, "Just do it already!" Like because I had.
Well, no, this was after because when they sew me back up, it's going through however many layers of stuff. So they have to like make sure that you can't feel anything.
Cool.
And then it's so cold. Like, so I was shivering, and I'm like,
Oh
shaking.
my gosh.
Yes, like, you lose half of your body.
You shake when you push them out too. Like you're just. I was not prepared for that at all. It's just like you are convulsing.
Keri, do you have
shaking.
kids?
I don't know.
Are we
The closest
horrifying
thing
you
I've
right
had is a kidney stone. So and I've heard that's like the closest pain you can have to birth. So that's the only thing
Are we
I
making
can.
you want to go through this?
It is.
Oh, I will. I want kids. So
it's worth it. And like you just forget about it. Like it sucks for the few hours that you're doing.
Yeah. Well, no, there's actually a function in the human brain. I forget like what it's called, but it's like it's an automatic forgetter. And there's certain pains in life that we go through that your brain will automatically make you forget the pain of so that you'll do it again. And one of them is giving birth and having children. Because if women could remember the exact pain, we would never have more kids. And the human race would literally crumble.
And also like the epidural, I got the epidural. So it's like I didn't feel a lot of it, which I was annoyed about. But I just didn't know how much longer the fucking Pitocin contractions were going to go on for. So...
Was that the stuff to like dilate you more, or what is Pitocin?
Pitocin makes your contractions like, I guess closer together. It helps you. It helps like move along. It helps like move along the birth. Like basically like escalates your situation.
Were you just like taking too long, so they gave you that?
I came in, my water had already broken and I was already having contractions, but didn't feel them. They were like, "It's broken. You're already having contractions. We can't let you leave." I was like, "No, I went to a whole entrance. I had my outfit planned. I was going to wear a boa. I had my luggage packed. I was like so unprepared. I was like, "No, I thought I had more time, you know, like
same."
He was 10 days early.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was due on the 19th, and then I went in on the 8th, and then he was born, early in the morning on the 10th. So I was just annoyed. I was like, because I walked into the labor and delivery. They're like, "Are you giving birth?" I'm like, "I don't think so. I'm pretty sure they're gonna let me right back out." And then,
oh my gosh.
And
you know, I've heard that though from a lot of people. Like, it's never like how you think it's going to go.
It was just don't ever look at the eclipse when you're very pregnant, because I'm pretty sure that broke my water.
I went into the hospital with like literally just my purse, and then they're like, "Oh, you have to have your baby now," and I'm like,
Right.
Yeah, I think I'm going to just like
they were going to turn the baby, right? And then they were like, "Nope, you can't leave."
Yeah, well, so they're doing the massage thing to turn her, but like
Did that hurt?
Oh, fuck yeah, it hurt. But like, I was like, I'm just gonna hold on and like suffer through this because I don't want to have a C-section. But like, the placenta was bigger than the baby, and so she couldn't go past it. So they got her butt was trapped like right where she's supposed to be coming out. And so they moved her butt out of there, but her head, they like push it into the placenta, and then she just go right back. So, and then they're like, "And your blood pressure is like 200 over something. You're gonna have a stroke. You got to get this baby out." And I'm like, "Fuck my life."
Was she a little early?
Yeah, she was like almost a month. Well,
right.
She's due on Christmas, and she was born the first week of December. So like 2.5, 3 weeks early-ish.
Okay. Yeah, my friend just had a baby who was 3 weeks early.
See, that's what I'm hearing is it's like, okay, when I get pregnant, I'm just going to have like my bag and everything like packed and ready to go for a month beforehand, just so I'm ready.
That's what they tell you to do is like have it packed by week, I don't know, 32 or 35 or something.
Yeah.
But, yeah. It's so neat. And then I wonder what it would have been like to have a C-section. Like, would I have saved my, like, would I be like not throwing up? Would I not have been?
Girl, I would have rather thrown up. The recovery from a C-section is hell because it's like you can't use your abs. So like sitting up, like to get out of bed, they have to teach you how to roll so you don't use these muscles. Like I still have to roll myself out of bed. Like if you're sitting down, like in a chair, standing up, like just like that hurts. Sneezing is like intense.
Oh,
pain.
wow.
Laughing is painful. So you'd be fucked since you're a comedian.
Oh no.
I heard
And
that
it's-
though. I think
Do they
about the
cut? I have
laughing.
a stupid question. Do they cut into your ab muscles?
Well, it's your lower abdomen, so yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Whoa.
It sucks.
But like, I mean, you look awesome, Anna. So whatever you did, like you're completely snapped back.
I'm not. I'm still fat. I need to lose like at least 15 pounds. I'm not happy because I'm going through my closet and I'm like, this is actually probably perfect that I'm fatter now. So it's like I'm putting on clothes. I'm like, this is how this looks if I had weight on me. Out. So I'm such a hoarder with clothes.
Are you saving the clothes like in my, you put it in a bin and you go someday, or do you just donate them and go, you know what?
No, so I have like some of the same clothes since I was in middle school, but so I like when I was in San Francisco, I had my own, room and closet, and then I moved in with a boy, and then I had to share a closet, and then we moved in here and we have smaller closets than the last place we lived. And so I have way too much clothes to the point where I'm like, I ran out of clever places to store these clothes. So I'm like, I just need to get everything, go through it. What do I actually wear? And then
there you go.
But I'm not going to donate it anymore because Goodwill, like they're hiking up their prices. And so I'm going to donate it to like a women's shelter or something.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I used to run a sober house and we needed donations constantly. So that's very much needed.
Wow.
Yeah. Over like going to Goodwill where they're going to be like, oh, this shirt that you paid $10 for, we're going to charge random people 14,
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I feel like $14 for anything at Goodwill is like, that's,
woo.
What are we doing?
If it's like over $5, it's too expensive.
Yeah,
in my
like that's
opinion.
crazy.
Wow. Okay, good to know. Yeah, I have I feel like I'm a long ways away from fitting into like the pre-pregnancy clothes.
I can fit my pants, but I'm at that mindset where I'm like, just because it zips doesn't mean it fits. So I'm like, I need to get back in. I have like one pair of pants that are not forgiving that I used to fit in perfectly. And I'm like, when I can button these with no problem, then I'm back in shape.
Yeah.
So,
That's a good way to measure it for sure.
Yeah.
It's hard because like a baby is really, it's like you've gained another full-time job. So it's like you just don't have time for the things you used to have time for.
Right.
And I used to think that moms that didn't lose the baby weight were just simply lazy. And now I've been like very humbled. It's like, oh, you don't have time. Like if you can take a shower
my God.
days, like that's a big deal.
It is like a luxury to be able to take a shower now. I actually am like, I told Peaches, like, I don't even care anymore because like we give her a bath separately. I'm like, I'm taking a bath with her because this is the only time I can wash right now.
Yeah.
And he's like, what if she pees while you're in the bathroom? I'm like, she hasn't yet. And if she pees on me, it's like, well, she's puked on me. She shit on me. I guess we can check the pee off the list, but that
No
hasn't
kidding.
Yeah. I was holding the bean like today and he like just after dinner. And I think I was like holding his stomach in a way, like he didn't puke, but he just kind of was like, bleh. It was like a little bit of, he just like, it wasn't like chunks of puke, but it was just like, bleh. And he's just like nursed. And I was like, oh no. Cause I'm just so not used to seeing him throw up at all. But then he was fine. He just went on like nothing happened, like a bulimic. Ooh, let's see. Oh my gosh, you have an eye project, Anna.
Yeah. If you don't mind, I'd love to share it.
I want to. Yes. This is very cool. Tell me
Oh,
about
yes.
the
For
eye
those
project.
that don't know, I've been painting eyes for the past 4 years. That's why I have a wall full of eyes.
Wow, 4 years it's been already. Wow.
I know. But so it's an Indiegogo project I'm doing. I'm trying to do a crowdfunder to make all of these eyes into a hardcover art book. So
Wow,
if you guys
cool.
are interested, go ahead and check it out and go back it while it's still up and available. I would appreciate it. I actually painted Chrissy and Frank's eye.
Yes, they came
Love
out
that.
really, really well.
Thank you.
They're super cool. And
That's awesome.
So you started this project because you wanted to get better at doing eyes. At what point, like how many eyes in were you where you were like, oh, I feel like I've mastered this or gotten significantly better?
I don't think I would say like if you scroll down, you can see all the first 100 eyes that I painted. But so I would say the one that I was like, okay, this one I kind of am getting it down was like maybe in like eye 50 or 49.
Wow.
And then I was like, I just kept doing more and more and more. And then when I got in the hundreds, I'm like, oh, I didn't know what the hell I was doing back then. So,
Really? Wow.
That's
Yeah.
like the life of an artist for sure. Once you think you've mastered it, you're like, oh crap.
Well, I feel like this first 100 was really just like getting the shape of it and, you know, where everything is in the anatomy. And then this next 200, it's all about like the color. Because I feel like the second 100 was like way more vibrancy to it versus the first 100. It's not as colorful. Like you see, those are the later eyes.
These
See
are
how much-
beautiful. Gorgeous.
See how much more like color is in that than like the
Yeah.
first couple. So,
Wow.
but yeah, if you guys are interested in this, I've been collecting art books my entire life because I like looking at them. So this is my first art book ever. And every eye that I painted was a volunteer from, you know, my audience. So I really appreciate everyone that, you know, came out and supported me in that way. And everyone at first, they're like, oh, this is weird. And then once I did a lot and they saw them like, oh, that's cool. Can you paint my eye? So I'm trying to make it into a book. If you guys are interested, I have the Indiegogo up. There's different tiers that you guys can back it at. You know, if you're interested, I'd really appreciate it. And I'm hoping right after I'm done with this that I can go to print, you know, just have these. But
Yeah, it would be a
What a
great
cool
like,
project.
coffee table
Thank you.
book.
yeah. And I'm planning on doing I used to, you know, have my art on display at cons, and there's one con that I really, really like that's down here in Southern California. It's called Midsummer Scream, and I've worked with them in the past. They're a really great con, and my plan is to have like all of the eyes on display and have like a throne so you can come and like sit, be surrounded by
that's
eyes, and like
sick.
take a photo.
I love
So
that.
I'm hoping that this is successful and I can have the books, and then that way, you know, everyone that backed it can get the books and can see, like, have it in your hands and see what these eyes look like. And then if you're interested in meeting me in person and seeing all of them, you know, for yourself, you can come to the con and meet me there and see them. So I'm excited. If you guys are interested, I put the Indiegogo link in the chat, but this is going to be up for at least 30 days. So go and back it, please. And thank you.
Definitely. I wonder if you got to a place where you can tell by looking at people's eyes, like if there's anything wrong with them, like, like, oh, you've got a kidney issue, or like this means you're tired.
You should draw Rachel Zegler's eye.
Oh God.
Yeah. How cool. Okay, for sure. Gonna back this. Indiegogo.com. All right, I'll definitely put this link in the description
Oh, thank you.
of this podcast. Yes. So now that you've done eyes, are you gonna move on to another body part, maybe like a
No. So
junk?
I really, when I was a kid, I absolutely loved Disney, and like I love Toy Story and that concept of like if my toys came alive, like in Toy Story. But you know, in Toy Story, how they all like just freeze when a human comes in.
Totally.
So I've been collecting like obviously toys and plush my entire life, and so I started this series. This is like kind of small, but it's where
Oh,
I do like
solo.
still life of toys, but it's like they're in the middle of doing something.
How cute! I love that.
This is not finished. I did this years ago, and I'm like, I'm not liking it, and I realized because I need to do them bigger. But so that was one. I started painting an Alice in Wonderland one. This was a Peter Pan that I never finished.
Wow.
So
So
my
you
plan is
paint.
to-
Gosh,
My plan is to
cool.
go and do that after this is all done. But yeah.
Oh,
Cool.
wow. Okay.
Thank you.
Let me.
Yeah, look at
Yes,
that.
wow.
That's
Do you
my
feel like you're constantly being watched?
No, I feel like I'm constantly being reminded of like I need to get more done.
Oh,
How many have you done so far exactly?
223.
Whew, that's enough. I don't know. I feel like
223.
Well, so what happened was nobody wanted to volunteer in the beginning, and then once people saw like that, because I think I posted like 50 of them and like myself with 50, then everyone's like, paint mine. So I got a wave of people volunteering. and so I had more than 200 because I just didn't say no to anyone. I'm like, if you want me to paint your eye, I'll paint it. So I just have to finish all my volunteers.
Oh, that's really nice. You're like, oh, you have a shitty eye. I'm not going to do you. Adam Joint, thanks for the 2. Just saying hi. Hi. Hope everyone be good. Oh, miss you, Adam. Jeremy Parker's for 5. So good to see Anna back on SimpCast after her mission to teach Native Americans how to build tents again. She should receive the Medal of Freedom.
Oh, thanks. You see, but the problem is, like, I didn't know, like, there was such, like, a fondness of alcohol there. It was really hard teaching drunk people how to pitch
Oh,
tents.
yeah. Oh, they love booze there. Yep.
Wow.
Amongst other things.
S. Penny says, giving birth or getting kicked in the nuts for 24 hours. I wonder if it's comparable. Probably. Russell Hall, how do you know your baby hasn't peed in the bath? Oh, true.
Because babies have a certain color to their pee, Russell, and you don't put babies completely submerged. So if like stuff was coming out, we would see it. You know?
Yeah, the baby's only up to like, I don't know, maybe they're, well, now because Frankie's a year old.
She can't sit up yet, so we have her in like a little chair.
Yeah,
and, and we wash her. And her baths are maybe 5 minutes, you know, maybe. She's so it doesn't take that long to clean.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe Frankie will be in there 15 minutes, but I'm just like dumping water on him because he's not like, the only places that get dirty is like under his neck. There's always some kind of food trapped under his rolls, and then like his hands are sticky and like his face. But like, unless there's some kind of a crazy blowout, you could basically clean it all with a wipe. It's just part of his getting ready for bed process. Russell Hall, that's a low blow to all your contributors, Anna.
I don't get it. How?
Okay, he says, wait, so you're not going to paint our dick pics?
No, Russell, I'm not going to paint any of that.
He's like, but I volunteered.
No, you know what Russell did? Russell's on this kick about Gates McFadden for like the past 3 years now. And I'm like, I'm only going to paint your eye, not some like, don't send me a bunch of celebrity photos of eyes. What does he do? It sends me Gates McFadden's eye. I'm like, God damn it, Russell.
Oh. Push-ups, this is sweet. Is it weird for a guy to really want to be a father? No, I would say it's like the most natural thing in the world.
It's
Didn't
charming.
you hear about Henry VIII? He really wanted to be a dad.
Oh,
I think like that's a good, like if your like partner, your boyfriend or whatever wants to be a dad, that's like usually a green
that's
flag.
Great quality. Yeah, push-ups, you're like Elon Musk, you know?
Yeah.
Get out there, spread your seed, homie.
No kidding.
It's bad when a guy doesn't want to be a dad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a red flag.
Then that's a red flag.
Agreed.
It's like, oh, you can't handle any kind of responsibility. It's like, grow the fuck up, you know?
Yeah, no kidding.
This is an interesting, okay, this was an interesting article, kind of related. Biological men set to carry children for the first time after womb transplant breakthrough, but face wait of 2 decades, surgeons say. Whoa. This is going to make me angry.
I know.
Trans women will benefit from the UK's first groundbreaking womb transplant surgery, but face a wait of up to 2 decades until they're eligible. Yeah, probably
2 decades.
Yeah, you will no longer be able to probably do it.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
This is bad. Surgeons stay.
I would like Elon Musk. Can these, you know what? Why don't these people go and repopulate Mars?
Right. Go and do that.
Over there.
And like, why aren't we focused on just getting the regular like women to like procreate? Why do we have to like fuck around with this?
Yeah,
Well, right
why
now,
have we
women are
resorted to forcing men to do it? Like, come on. Bless you.
Well, no, thank you. So when I went in like for my first baby appointment, they said, "Oh, did you conceive naturally or IVF?" And I said, "What's IVF?" And they're like, "Oh," 'cause I guess it's such a big thing now for women. They're not as fertile as they used to be. So women are already having a problem conceiving, and now other people want to do it. It's like,
I know.
I mean, can't women just have anything? Can't even have birth and babies anymore? It's ridiculous.
We're birthing people.
Yeah.
Surgeons today revealed they had successfully implanted a womb. So does that mean a whole uterus in an unidentified 30-year-old woman? Wait a second. Woman who was based in England and was born without one. Oh, I see. The organ was donated by her sister who already has children in the hopes that the recipient can start her own family. Okay. So I have mixed feelings about this. It's like woman to woman. It's not like they're putting it into a dude, but you know that that's next.
Mm-hmm.
Medics are now optimistic she can successfully undergo IVF this year, giving hope to thousands of sterile women. Experts have previously said a similar operation could be performed on a trans woman, a biological male, to help them better match their new gender. Yuck. No, that's not gonna work. Are you kidding me? Their bodies are going to physically reject it. It's a lot of people are gonna die.
Generally, just don't play God.
Did you watch The Danish Girl?
No.
It's about like the first like trans woman that got the procedure to have like, a uterus and a vagina. And, like, dude died of infection like after a week.
Whoa.
That does not shock me at all.
The movie's actually good, but yeah,
this is
Amber Heard is in it.
Okay, that I was not expecting.
Their bodies are gonna reject it. It's just such a big surgery. It's not gonna work out. One of the
my thing is like, are they gonna go around killing women to get their uteruses so they can get a transplant? Like,
probably
Yeah.
if you have organ donor written on
like
your,
don't go to China. Like they already are gonna try to get your kidneys.
No,
and your
seriously,
don't go to
yeah.
China for any reason ever. What would be the point of that?
The Great Wall, the history, the castles, the Disneylands.
I don't know. Just look at photos online. But one of the surgeons behind the mammoth 17-hour op, which took place in February, expects these patients face a wait of up to 2 decades.
Do you ever wonder on like those 17-hour surgeries, like, because look at that doctor, that's an old ass man. Do they stop for a lunch break while you're like open on a table?
Maybe they just have like a Go-Gurt on them or like a smoothie in their pocket.
Because they're like, at some point in 17 hours, they're gonna need to go to the bathroom. They're gonna need water. They're gonna need a lunch break. Yeah, a nap. Like, how can some old guy that old stand there for 17 hours? That is alarming.
It's not natural. I'm just saying, don't play God. You don't have these problems.
Stage 1, 8 hours, 12 minutes surgery is on the donor sister, carried out in a neighboring surgical theater. It is a theater. To the recipient, team discovers she has 2 arteries on one side of the womb. Normally there is 1 on either side. Surgery to remove them takes longer than expected. Just before the womb is removed, the team take a break. See, they're eating lunch now. That takes 8 hours and 12 minutes. Whoa.
The
so
break?
they take this first surgery where they're taking, I guess, the whole thing. This is just a lot. This is a lot of stuff to take out, and it's all connected. Stage 2, womb is flushed of any blood, cooled. Wow. Cooled to prevent deterioration and taken to the theater next door to be transplanted into the sister. Stage 3 takes 9 hours. Painstaking work to connect the blood vessels. Begin using very fine stitches. Surgeon Miss Quiroga above used high magnification lenses for precision. Whoa. And most people aren't going to have the money for this unless they, it's taxpayer funded.
I feel like it just dehumanizes people in general. Like, we're not robots. We're not computers where you can just switch out parts and replace batteries. Like, we are human beings. Okay. And we have very complex systems within our bodies. And, maybe it's just because I have faith in God or something, but I just feel like it's such an offense to just the creation of life in general.
It really is. It's like, there's so much more that we can focus on. It's like, I don't know.
Totally.
It's okay. It's sister to sister, but I don't know.
Honestly, it just seems like these are people with some serious problems in their life. And instead of focusing on that and trying to fix their problems, they are, let me just completely change who I am and try to do this because it'll distract me from my actual problems. This isn't going to make them feel complete. It's not going to make them happy. It's just expensive and a way to virtue signal and get attention for 5 minutes. But if they even lived to 80, like, I don't think that's going to make them happy.
And it's so true. And I'm not really for surrogacy, but I would prefer that the sister maybe carry a baby for her sister. I'd rather do that than this Frankenstein shit.
Yeah, I agree with that completely.
Boy, oh my God. Imagine just you got a womb on ice and you got to wash blood out of it. How is that even possible? It's so like wild.
And this was successful. This surgery.
Yeah. Look how many little snippers they have here. Wow, look at all the scissors. But look how wrinkly the hospital gowns are. Why don't some of the gals take a steamer to this, you know?
Ugh.
Why don't you drop out of med school and just steam all the...
You know
all
what?
the rows?
Actually, that means that they just got them out of their bags or something, right? Or do they wash them? Like, are those brand new? Like, I want the lines still in it from being in the plastic bag from the factory.
Yeah, I don't want the wrinkles. Not a fan. Professor Richard Smith from Imperial College London carried out the landmark womb transplant alongside colleague Isabel Quiroga from the Oxford Transplant Center. While UK laws obliges medics to offer biological and trans women the same care, surgeons aren't yet ready. Yeah, because it's just not going to take. We're very aware that the 2010 Gender Equality Act mandates equal treatment. So they're like forced to do this. They'll eventually, I feel like, maybe feel forced. I don't know. I think Trump's ripple effect is gonna change, global policy on this shit.
I sure hope so.
Wow,
this isn't good for anyone.
No.
It's not good for either of the people who are a part of the surgery. I mean, obviously they don't realize that yet, but they will eventually.
Mandates equal treatment for cis and trans women. That assumes technical feasibility, and in this case, currently there is not technical feasibility. Obstacles include differences in the anatomy of the pelvis, and a man's pelvis is too narrow. Blood vessels between the sexes, as well as even the blood vessels are different. As well as the microbiome, the collection of microorganisms that naturally live in the human body. And the fact that they were sisters makes sense that it would take, because similar DNA.
So her sister died and she gave her uterus or something?
No, she didn't die. She already had her kids, and she just, they had them cut out her uterus and fallopian tubes and all that. Yeah, it's crazy.
This is grossing me out.
Wow.
It's just wrong. Everything about this is
it's a
wrong.
surrogacy thing. It's like, okay, if she would have just done surrogacy, like, okay, I'll carry your babies for you, then at least they know that she can have babies, right? But this whole transplant thing, it's going to be super freaking expensive. And then what if it doesn't take, and then they're both out a uterus, and then there are going to be no babies? It's
Totally.
so stupid.
Right. Well, like the sister had already had babies, apparently.
Yeah, but now this other sister can't, or like she can't have babies. What if the surgery doesn't do good or work? And so that's basically a waste of a uterus. She could potentially die.
True.
Her sister's going to have a shit ton of problems the rest of her life. And it's like, she just should have done a surrogate. Now that I'm hearing more of this story, it's making me angrier.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And I think these doctors are saying that it's possible for trans women because they don't want to appear like transphobic. But like, we're still 10, 20 years away from this even being a possibility. I think, I don't know. It's easy for them to say, sure, we'll do this to trans women.
Or maybe they're hoping that they can capitalize on it in 10 years like they have with all the other aspects of trans stuff.
Like a lot of money.
Ching. Yikes.
It's just,
it's gross.
In general, the whole trans thing, like, it really is a tragedy, especially when you look at the types of people who tend to be into the trans stuff. Like, a lot of them are autistic. They have, mental issues, obviously. And it's actually just really sad. Like, you don't know, you don't understand the effects of what you're doing to your body with these medications and these surgeries until much later. And most of it is, you can't take it back once you do it. And I can't believe how many people in my generation have been psyoped into this. Like, it's really sad.
Yeah. Well, I hope that, I don't know, it's going to be kind of unraveled in the next few years. Like that.
I think it will. But for those who got wrapped up in it, like, they're just screwed.
Mm-hmm. For real. It's interesting. They put them on a powerful immunosuppressant to stop the womb from being rejected. But it could still, what are you going to be on that forever? I think.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, can we get like we'd like to check back in on this in a few months and see how it's going.
Yeah, I not that I want this, but I bet there's going to be major complications.
Yeah. Definitely.
Why biological men can't give birth yet? Wow.
Is crazy.
Scientists believe it's theoretically, okay, that doesn't mean shit, possible to impregnate trans women using IVF. No. I don't know. I think I'm sure if God is observing this, which he is, he's gonna do his best to make sure this doesn't work out, because he gets upset when people try to
definitely
do him. Wow.
Definitely.
How would a womb transplant for a trans woman actually work? This is a lot. Trans woman gets vaginoplasty, a surgical remodeling of their penis into. So much could go wrong. So first of all, they have to take your penis and turn it into a vagina,
which rarely works, by the way.
Itself an extensive procedure. Testicles are removed with sperm frozen for later use. Okay, that's number one. Then you have a neo vagina, which is like a Neopet. Wow. They take your penis, they flip it inside out and put it up in your body. And then a healthy donor womb is taken from a dead woman or one undergoing a hysterectomy. So it's either like an old chick or a dead chick. And they have to take blood vessels connected to the organ. So that so much could go wrong there. They could sneeze and cut a blood vessel. Number 3, the womb is surgically inserted into the trans woman and connected to their new vagina, which again is like Raggedy Ann and Andy, just held together with hope and fake penis parts.
Yeah.
No, real penis parts. Number 4, the new womb is connected to the existing blood vessels, which are trimmed to fit the difference in the width of the vessels between the sexes. Okay, that's incredibly complicated. Internal tissue needs to be extended around the new womb. And then 5, immunosuppressant drugs. This is wild. Like, I feel like each of these surgeries is impossible, and then you have to have 5,
If you can get through step 1, that's an exception. Most people cannot even do the first surgery correctly. Like, it's very hard to change your penis into a vagina. Like, it very rarely works. So I don't think you're going to be able to get through all these other steps either.
Yeah.
What is that?
Oh, Lily Ebb. This is I think this was the movie that Anna was talking about. Lily Elby was a Danish trans woman, the first ever to attempt at giving biological male a womb transplant. However, she died from cardiac arrest brought on by post-surgery infection 3 months after the operation.
There you go.
Wow. Any resulting baby would be delivered by cesarean at 37 weeks to reduce the strain. And then, so not only do all these surgeries have to work out, then like to be able to carry a baby for 37 weeks, there's no way.
No, and that's like also not just a terrible thing for the person trying to carry the baby. It's also terrible if somehow a baby is able to be conceived and how like the baby is not going to make it. So now,
yikes.
Like that. No, this whole thing is just.
It's very, very dangerous to put a little bean through this.
I know. Doesn't that break your heart though to think about that? Like,
so sad.
That baby doesn't deserve that.
No, it's like you're growing up in a like a shitty house.
Right?
You're gonna be like, oh, I'm growing. Is this a
Section 8?
This is my. Is this a flipped inside out penis right here? Like, what the hell is going on?
Why?
Where am I? What is wrong? What kind of house is this?
Like that is just
like, did I just elbow the inside of a penis? What is going on here?
Insane.
No. Ridiculous.
Well, and then imagine like that's your parent if you are somehow birthed. Like this whole thing is just not good.
This is, I don't know. And then they're making the case like, well, it's for women who don't have a functioning womb. That's what they're going to make the case, that this is why this is like medically necessary, but they're going to try to master it so they can do it to trans women because that's where all the money is.
Of course. Of course.
They should be banned. Agreed. Woof. Woof. All right.
Craziness.
Let's go to the chat. Femboy Fantasia. Transgenderism is based in the rad femme notion that gender roles are purely a social construct itself placed on platonic forms. Vagplasty never works. No, it's just too much. It's too much fucking around down there. Russell Hall for 5. I feel like this is just way too much work to get access into the women's locker room.
Real.
Especially when we live in an age of tiny cameras you can hide.
Real.
Just so much. I mean, you guys have seen the stories from the people who transition or detransition. Just even like Buck Angel talked, and he's an example of someone where it went well. He talked about when
atrophy.
when he transitioned, yeah, his whole situation atrophied, his uterus, and they didn't even know how to treat that or what that was.
Yeah, because he was like one of the first people to even do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean,
there's so much stacked against you. Like there's just the odds that all of those surgeries will go well and you'll not have complications and then carry a baby for 37 weeks. It's not happening.
Well, it's kind of like choose your hard.
Yeah. That's true. Mitchell Fields for 5. Dr. 1, let's swap out sex organs. Dr. 2, we can't even change something simple like hair or eye color yet. Maybe we shouldn't. Dr. 1, hold my beer. That's funny.
That's funny.
Russell Hall for 2 is it still hollow when they take your uterus? I don't know. I guess probably the other organs kind of fluff out, and I don't know what they put in place of it. Maybe like a stuffed animal or a plastic uterus. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Russell Hall, I hope that's not a full 2-page spread. Boopy doop. Cyberhunk returns. Was Zia wrong to do what she did? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Who's Zia?
Zia is a friend of mine. She was actually one of my bridesmaids. And she's a fellow content creator, YouTuber. What did she do, Cyberhunk? Don't leave me hanging. What's up, Zato? Thanks for the 20. I believe that children are the future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. What the hell is this? An inside out penis? Russell Hall. So what I'm understanding from that is, depending on how things work out in Cash Grab 2, Cecil could literally end up giving birth in the third book. Yes.
Yeah.
The micro weenie. What's the difference between John Wayne and Jack Daniels? Jack Daniels is still killing Indians. That's a great joke. Russell Hall for 5. I'm sorry. Where do they get a spare womb? Aren't you guys kind of like, attached to those things? Well, you heard the article. It was either a dead woman or someone getting a hysterectomy.
An elder, not elder, but probably a woman who doesn't even have many eggs left, I would think, if you're getting a hysterectomy.
I think most people getting a hysterectomy are gonna be 35 and up.
Right.
I don't know if that many that are getting it that are like in their 20s, still kind of young.
Unless something's wrong, obviously. But
yeah. Woof. Yeah, it's just too much. Too many. The fact that you have to attach veins and arteries to one another, it's not just like throwing a uterus in there and like it'll mix it up like you're making egg dye. It's
very complicated.
So yeah,
very precise. Like, ow.
My mom got a hysterectomy because it was not good. Yeah, you're gonna want somebody's jacked up uterus. You got a jacked up uterus, an inside out penis. It's not a recipe for success here, people.
Like, it's not funny, but
they should really let me give the speeches. Like, let me talk to these people that want to do this, and I will.
You'll give it to them straight, you know?
And they'll be like, yikes.
These are the things they need to hear.
I'll be like, look, here is an artist's rendering, which I will need Anna's help for. Here's an artist's rendering of your inside out penis. Ugh. Yick.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oi,
we're
oi,
really-
oi.
We're really hitting all the tough topics here.
I guess we are, aren't we?
Oh, Leo Fisher, thank you for the 20. Placenta. They ignore placenta. They think dialysis machine and feeding tube will keep baby alive in the womb. Impossible. The doctors are as crazy as the trans. Really good point, Leo.
Period.
Very, very good point. Right. Because
I didn't even think about that.
yeah, you're when you get pregnant, like your body creates a whole nother organ.
Mm-hmm.
And the placenta like feeds all the nutrition and everything that the baby needs, and it filters out other shit. Right. They have no idea to know if the fake womb or the transplanted womb will be able to create a placenta.
I mean, and like, as we know, the way the female body like conforms to having a child in it is amazing. Like it's so obviously, in my opinion, like God's design, because it's so complex, and like to think
real, Cherry.
that
Like,
you could recreate that is just crazy.
Nothing has made me believe in God more deeply than getting pregnant and carrying a baby, for real. I think that's part of why abortion is we're so like propagandized into, and the glamorization of abortion. It's to like keep you separate from the magic of your own body and therefore God,
Totally.
So.
Yeah. I mean, they want us separated from God very badly, and they have successfully done that, honestly. So,
yeah. Wow. Russell Hofer 5. Wouldn't it be way simpler just to go full Mars attacks and swap heads? Then it would really make things confusing.
Oh boy.
Just might as well. I'd rather have a swapped head than an inside out penis.
I mean, imagine that though, how crazy that could get. People killing other people because they want their head.
There's a lot more to connect. There's the vertebrae. Yeah, you probably can't sew vertebrae together.
Probably not.
So, yike. I just gave myself the willies. Okay. Okay, here's another kind of related. We'll touch on this before we skedaddle. Okay, this is kind of ridiculous too. Parents sent into frenzy after baby names are declared red or blue coded. A now viral study has shown the difference between baby names in the U.S. Red states tend to opt for more Americana names, while blue have religious ties. Oh. Naming a baby can be a minefield, but it seems that some names lead towards a certain political party. A study by Nameberry, that doesn't even sound real, analyzed the most popular boy names in states that voted Republican or Democratic, revealing the naming patterns in different politically led states. The American-based study, originally published in August of 24, analyzed the top 500 names in the U.S. that were chosen in states that voted red or blue in the 2020 presidential election. It's so interesting. The study that found Democratic states tend to lean towards traditional names, that makes sense, with a range of names with international, historical, and religious sources, despite typically being categorized as more progressive. Meanwhile, Republican states' names are American ideals deeply rooted in the land and family heritage. A snapshot of the study was posted on X. No, we're going to call it Twitter. Showed that, see, where does this go? Okay, no. It didn't do what I wanted to do. Showed that for red states, the most prevalent name was Hattie for girls and Cohen for boys. Yuck, both horrible names. Conversely, Fiona and Moisha were the most popular boy names in blue states. Okay, I like Fiona. And the revelation sent other social media users into a frenzy as one observed, lol, the red state boy names are surnames. Another laughed at some of the popular names, writing, red state names are frying me. It's like they took every Twitter joke about them and gave it to an actual baby. Gunnar, Oakley, Graceland.
Those are pretty names.
Yeah, they are. Almost all the names on both sides are terrible, declared another. Interestingly, the study found that 70% of the most popular names in blue states are rooted in religious sources, while none of the popular names in red states had religious ties. That is a little bit that is a little shocking because you would
Yeah.
think that Republicans would be more religious.
Totally.
Well, you know what I bet it is like all the religious based names, they already know a bunch of people with those names. So now they're trying to be more creative and have different names. And all the people that aren't religious, they don't know anyone like that's named Mary. So they're like, okay, I'll name my kid Mary because it's unique.
Yeah. Well, and in blue areas too, there's more diversity. So I'm sure a lot of them are like Muslim names or
Yeah, like Muhammad.
Yeah. Oh, Mohammed and Ahmed are like the two most popular names here in Minnesota.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Ahmed, I actually like that one. I've never heard it before, but
Well, and it's so funny because we have a huge Somali population here.
So real.
And like a lot of the times they'll name their kids like Mohammed. Like they'll name their kid their first name after their last name. Like it's super common. It's like, come on, you couldn't think of anything different? Like Ahmed, Mohammed. That is the weirdest. I don't get that, but it's super common here.
this kind of ties into like what that debate that we were watching when I first got on here. It's like, honestly, I feel like World War III is just going to be the Crusades part 12 or something.
Could be.
I've seen all the video. Like, I don't like to follow politics at all, but the fact that I'm noticing like what's going on in England and other countries, and I'm just like, the invasion is happening.
Oh, it's unreal.
And then I heard about like Michigan and I guess Minnesota too. I'm just like, I feel like this is going to be a religious crusade type of war again. So,
yeah, I mean, it's especially what's going on in Europe right now is just unbelievable. I mean, it doesn't even, London doesn't even look like London anymore. I mean, I'd argue that we have some of that here in Minneapolis with a lot of the Muslim stuff we have going on here. I mean, we have a area in North Minneapolis where they play over loudspeakers, like the Islam prayer call or whatever. It happens 6 times a day.
Oh, God.
Really?
In public.
We need it 6 times? Ugh.
They do. They have to pray like 6 times a day.
It's insane though. Like, I'm sorry. Why is that the rest of our, like, why do we have to deal with that though? You know?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, no, that sucks. Ethnic differences go far to explain the red state, blue state baby name divide. It continued, right. Muslim, Italian, Irish, and Jewish parents who claim a larger share of the population in blue states and are more likely to vote Democratic also tend to more closely follow family and religious traditions. Okay, so it's non-white. Let's just say it's probably just Muslims because they're taking over everything.
True.
So the Muslims are...
You should have a list of these names that they're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen that video of like them asking like random people on the street in like Dublin, like, oh, what's the most popular name in Ireland? They'll be like Seamus, John, James. I'm like, it's Muhammad. They're like,
it's Muhammad.
Oh.
Yeah. Ireland has a huge issue with this too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. My poor gingers. Okay. A whopping 84% of the popular blue state names derive from another 84%. Of blue state names derived from another language. There you go. That's the Muhammads.
That's insane.
Whoa.
84%.
Wow. And they're all Democrats. Another interesting finding was that every one of the top 25 red state boys' names, nearly half the girls' names, started off as surnames, while only 2 of the most popular blue names originated as surnames. Nameberry noted at the same time, many of the red state names rebel against naming conventions around gender and spelling, getting more creative with them because it's white people, which bucks against the idea of red states being more traditional. Republican states are usually thought of as conservative, while blue or Democratic states are liberal. According to it's because of the muzzies. Okay,
the muzzies.
Wow. Our findings show an America deeply divided on baby names in ways that point to larger and more profound conflicts in American culture and ideals. The study found that red state names often use surnames as first names. We did that. They opted for gender-neutral choices with heavy themes of heritage, land, particularly tree-related, and Americana. A notable preference for gun-themed and military names.
What is a gun? Wait, I need to understand. What is a gun-themed name?
Like if you name your girl Pew Pew or
your boy Ruger
or
something.
Or Sig or other names. Many girls have names that end in Lee or Lynn, while boys' names end in a consonant. That makes sense.
Like most boy names.
Yeah.
Wow, shocking.
Democratic-led states tended to opt for names more traditional, religious, or multicultural. Yeah, of their religion, not
ours.
Not Americans' religion. With over 70% of blue state names have theological ties. Okay. They also had influence from Irish, Spanish, Italian, Arabic, and Jewish cultures, with popular names including Moisha, Miriam, and Santino. These names are more retain traditional spellings. Okay. The reddest boy names: Cohen, Baylor, Stetson. Oh, that's kind of cool. Kyson. That's crazy. Tripp, Sutton, Briggs, Cohen, Gunner, Baker. The reddest girl names are Hattie, Oakland, Oakley, Graceland, Renly, Blakely, Collins, Oakley, Sailor, Oakley. These are insane. Oakley. These are too creative. I don't like these. I don't like a too creative name. It irritates me.
Oh, it's like you're trying too hard.
And I feel like they just got a bunch of John Wayne movies and they picked names from there.
Yeah.
A lot of Oakland, Oakley.
Saying Tripp is a terrible name. If you watch
Briggs.
Star Trek Enterprise, you would understand where that name is, endearing. And
Tripp
why that name is endearing.
is a Star Trek name. That's cool.
Yeah, in Star Trek Enterprise, he's the engineer and he's like one of the best characters.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Bluest boy names: Moisha, Santino, Muhammad.
Muhammad, who would have thought?
Muhammad.
There you go.
They didn't want to put that first, but it's first. Kieran, Ari, Aiden, Ibrahim, Ali, Nico. Yuck. Bluest girl names: Fiona, Liana, Mira, Miriam, Kira, Miriam, Nina, Aisha, Paige, Kayla. Those are more normal.
Okay, all of those names are in like fantasy and sci-fi movies. So.
And they're so similar.
Yeah.
Well, they're very feminine, girly names. So
I don't hate
Mira,
these
Kira.
Yeah, I don't hate the girl names. Wow. Oakley, make it stop. Yeah.
You know what's funny is my friends were about to name their daughter Oakley, but it was because the mom, she went to school in Oklahoma. And so she's like, oh, Oakley, that's kind of cute because she like moved back to California, but she loves Oklahoma. So
sure.
And then her mom was like, absolutely not. My granddaughter's name isn't going to be an Okie.
Yeah, I just think of a sunglass brand.
That's what I thought of too, right off the bat.
Aaron Smithy. Who's this cherry babe and will she marry me?
Already married. Sorry.
News you lose. Junior Ragenhart, thank you for the 10. Whoa, girl. The point about glamorizing abortion separates you from the magic of your own body. So true. Oh, I was getting ready for an insult. That's why I'm like, you don't have to be religious to recognize how sacred pregnancy and birth is. For real. It is so magic. It's so magic when it helps when it happens in like a healthy, normal woman's body. So it's like, I don't think it's
Totally.
gonna work.
Well, I was pretty like on like it's none of my business what other people do with their lives. Like, but then I saw this post on Twitter like last night, and I must have just been overly emotional last night. But it was like it only showed like her stomach down. It said, hashtag 15 abortions. And I started crying like randomly, like just seeing that. I was like, because I'm laying there in bed like with my baby, and I'm just like, oh my God, she killed 15 babies. Like, oh my God, it got to me. Like,
yeah,
really
I mean,
sad.
I think the older you get, if you have kids, like you start to realize more that
they're so precious.
It doesn't just affect an abortion does not just affect the person who's having it. It affects the human being inside of that person as well. I'm sorry, there's no other way to look at it. If people could at least be honest about it, like we could have a different conversation, but people can't even be honest about the fact that like you are unaliving a child,
Mm-hmm. I just say it like the girls that go, and there's some instances where I'm like, okay, like maybe the baby's like it's not gonna live, like it's already dead inside of you, or I don't know, maybe you're 12 and you got raped by someone. Like
there's always exceptions.
There's instances where I'm like, okay, but if you're just a hoe, it's like, oh bitch, just get on birth control or use a condom. An abortion is not birth control.
No, but it has become that.
It has, and it's awful.
It's crazy irresponsible. Russell Hall, we're basically building a new Tower of Babel, trying to play God and usurp the natural order. Every neo-vagina brings us closer to 1,000 new languages.
Facts.
That's a tweet, Russell. Viking for 2, we would have been better off speaking German.
Sehr gut.
You know what you should do, Chrissy? You should take that super chat, tweet it, and then like quote like Russell Hall since Russell's not on Twitter and see how that does.
All right, Russell, tweet that to me. Or I already sent it into the ether. J.R. Ragenhart for 20. The number one most common boy name in England and Wales is now Mohammed. The English identity is over 1,000 years old, and they're allowing themselves to be subverted culturally in fear of appearing racist. It's cultural suicide. Dude,
I'm telling you, World War III is just going to be another crusade. That's what it's going to be. It's literally a religious war.
What's so wrong with like staying in your own country? Is this an old person thing to say? Like,
No,
why? What is so bad about where you came from?
I was watching this like it came up on my shorts, and it was about how it's like the countries that like they complain about the most are Islamic countries and how they hate them, and then they go to countries that they complain about the government. It's like, okay, so you don't want to live in an Islamic country, you want to live in like places like England, France, Germany, America, but you hate all of us so much. You hate us, but you want to live here because you guys already fucked up your own countries.
Well, you know, this is what the globalists want, right? They want a one world government. They want borders to be blurred. They want us all. This is like their plan is like happening. This is what they've been working at for years. I mean, they accomplished it here with the US and opening our borders under Biden. It's happening all over Europe, and slowly but surely all of our Western culture will be eroded because the lines are blurred. And it's, you know, once you realize that, a lot of this stuff becomes, you start to understand why it's happening, because you can sit here and you're like, well, why would England let this happen? Like, it's almost baffling. Why would Ireland let this happen? Because there's greater forces at play, and that's the game plan, you know, and it's happening, unfortunately.
Yep. It's really sad. Amazing disgrace for 5. Is it still forbidden to draw Muhammad? It might just be a drawing of an Irish guy. That's funny. Leo Fisher for 10. Cherry is right. When Cassius Clay became Muhammad Ali, it was as common as Billy Bob. Mitchell Fields, a professional baby name maker, makes $63,000 a year. That's
what?
So funny. Viking for 2. To be fair, I don't care if a Shaniqua has a 15 abortion. Oh, that's sad, Viking. No one should have any abortions. It's very, very sad because babies are the best. I think they just scare women into thinking that they're live. Well, it's because if you're bad at picking men, you'll be more likely to be on board with the idea of an abortion.
Very true.
You're not going to be attached to it, and you'll see it more of like a invasion, right? So it's almost like continuing to pick bad men. It's like it keeps you justified in that pattern.
Almost feel like the only like silver lining on this that I could possibly put on is like maybe Hitler, like baby Hitler was aborted. You know,
another.
Maybe that's why we
Hitler.
haven't had another one, is because he got aborted. So that's the only way I can look at this in like a positive.
Yeah.
Like a Hitler 2.0. Yeah, that's true.
You never know.
Mitchell Fields for 5. Our country, their country, move here, move there, whatever. I hear Mars will be popular in a few years. I'm not going to Mars. To me, that's just like an inside out penis. I don't trust it.
Exactly.
There's nobody there. It's not going to take.
One big guess.
I don't know why they just don't move to the moon first. Like, just go build a station on the moon so we don't have to worry about the astronauts continuously getting stuck.
I think it's because we can't really get back to the moon, or we've never went to the moon.
I don't think we ever did.
Yeah, same.
I know people say that. I like space. I'm hopeful. I watch Star Trek too much that I'm just like, you know what, Elon, get your Skylink or Starnet, whatever the hell it's called, and just build a little Elon Musk Tesla dome on the moon. Yeah.
Until he does that, I will not believe that we can go into space.
Yeah, I don't think we have.
Until we have influencers on the moon, I will not believe that we can go.
Elon Musk, the first man to impregnate someone on the moon.
Yeah, no kidding.
Until there's a Kardashian on the moon, I will not believe that we can.
Well, don't you see like Katy Perry's going into space now?
Good. Stay up there. All these people I don't want to see again. Like
Gail, Oprah's bestie.
King, we're sick of her. We're sick of Katy Perry.
Who's Gail?
Jeff.
Oprah's best friend.
Oprah's best friend, Gail King. Also,
who she is?
Bezos's
wife. What's her name?
I think Lauren Sanchez.
Lauren Sanchez.
Yeah.
Did you know? I didn't know this about her. I thought like she just got lucky and got Jeff Bezos. She was married to some guy with like $24 million and left him for Jeff Bezos, who's got like over 100 billion.
Leveled up. Well,
she did. I was like, bitch, like your husband with $24 million wasn't good enough.
Of course, that's who he's gonna marry. He's not gonna start dating like an open mic comedian. Like whoever's in his level of you're gonna have women who are like other gold diggers around you. You know,
get that bag.
He's not just gonna like charm a waitress and like marry her. You know,
I didn't know who she was either though before she started dating him. So
neither did I. I just like saw something pop up on my feed. And I was like,
yeah,
this bitch was like already married.
Yeah, no, that's wild.
Keep the moon empty. I agree. Why don't we send all the Muhammads to the moon and we can name it Moon Hamid?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Because then they'll kill us all with tidal waves because the moon controls the oceans.
All right. We'll have to look into that. All right. We'll pull this up. Katy Perry talking about how she's going to go into space. This is like, we haven't heard from Katy Perry in so long. Katy Perry.
She tried to come back and failed miserably.
Okay. Katy Perry shares new video ahead of her voyage into space. Tomorrow she reveals that the capsule on which she's traveling has an outline of a feather and it's named Tortoise, 2 nicknames her mom calls her. Oh my God, it's meant to be.
T-1 day.
Her wig is so awful.
Before
That's a wig?
Yeah.
Get to go to space. I think if you know me, you know that I'm always looking for little confirmations from the heavens, from my guides, from my angels, from my higher self.
This is all just like bullshit that women say who need God in their life.
Exactly.
Like, all these and I know this because I kind of used to be this way. Like, oh, my spirits, my angels,
the universe,
my crystals.
You know what makes me angry? This is the woman that bagged and married Orlando Bloom. Like, think about that. Orlando Bloom spawned with this woman.
True. Yikes.
Do they have a kid?
Yeah, they have a daughter.
I ask for it and I'm open to it. It's pretty loud. So when I was invited to come on this voyage, I looked up the capsule, and the capsule on the very front of it is the outline in the shape of a feather. And when I saw that, it was like a total confirmation because my mom has always called me Feather. And so I'm in space training today, and it's, there's a lot to digest. We're almost finished with the day, and they show us the capsule, and we run simulations in another capsule and tested the noise and what to expect and all these different things. And they reveal the capsule name, and the capsule's name is Tortoise.
What?
A wave, just the most energetic wave just shot through my body. And I was like, whoa, what? This capsule's name is Tortoise? My mom calls me 2 nicknames, Feather and Tortoise. What are the chances that I'm going to space on a rocket in a capsule with my symbol, the feather, called Tortoise?
What?
And my mom
what drugs is she on?
I will screenshot my mom's.
Why?
One.
Why would you're gonna have to explain why these are your nicknames.
I know, right?
Tortoise and Feather.
The only thing I can think of for Tortoise is like a sex one, but
I am so lost right now.
What, like it takes her forever to come?
No,
That's
like
something your
she
mom
can make a guy come out of his shell kind of thing.
Oh, that's cute. Okay.
That's the feather. I don't get why her mom would call her a feather, but
What, like
just
light as a feather or something?
what makes me angry the most about this is like there's people that have waited and trained and like made their entire profession to be an astronaut and waited their entire life to do this, and Katy Perry gets to go, but they don't.
Yeah. Because of her nicknames.
Right.
There are no coincidences, and I'm just so grateful for these confirmations and so grateful that I feel like something bigger than me is steering the ship.
Ugh. She's annoying.
Weird vibes there. I don't know. That felt
Very
ominous or something.
Yeah. Why don't you write a new song while you're up there, Katie? Mitchell Fields, they should be building a moon base on the south pole of the moon in a few years. I've seen the plans and the communications stuff. Again, Mitchell, until I see it, you can draw all the drawings you want. Until I see a Kardashian on the moon, I don't believe
Until I
it.
see Elon Musk with like his horde of children, I'm all for it.
4K.
Yeah, unless I see Ashley St. Clair on the moon, because Elon Musk will have sent her
No,
away
he doesn't
there.
even take the baby mamas. Just like what him and little X can go up there.
One planet for nothing but Elon Musk's baby moms. Until I see that, I don't believe we can go.
Oh my gosh. Well, Chrissy, have you heard about the people trapped in Alaska, or not Alaska, Antarctica?
What? No.
Oh my god. Okay, I'll pull it up. You guys are gonna lose your mind.
Viking says God definitely didn't tell her to get those bangs. No, bangs are very 2000 and late. Zato, I learned from her that Orlando is uncut. Wow, the more you know. Okay, we will.
Wow, a British guy isn't circumcised. Shocking.
Russell says she probably made Orlando be naked on the raft. What raft? Interesting.
Katy Perry failed so miserably.
He goes paddleboarding and he did it naked, so they got naked pictures of him.
Hello.
That was like back in like the 2000s.
I missed it. I was out that day.
Okay, so go ahead, read your super chat, then I'll tell you about the Antarctica.
Fruitless Redneck for 5. She'd think the shuttle named Columbia would be a good sign because her mom visited there once. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so the thing with the Antarctica, so they've been doing this for years. There's a group of scientists from South Africa that go to Antarctica and they have to stay there for a year. Now, before... What? Yes, okay. But so before, they've never had this problem, but now there's like fights, sexual harassment. It's like an absolute shit show.
Wow.
And they're like, they've only been down there like a month and a half and they're pleading for help.
Whoa.
Now, what do you think changed about the standards to go down to Antarctica?
I don't know.
They allowed trans people to go?
Oh, just wait.
Black people?
I hope to show you a picture of the
Black
scientists.
people can go. Black people can go.
DEI.
There might be a little DEI.
Oh my God. South Africa's isolated Sine Arctic base is cut off from the world. Wow. It's cut off from the world for 10 months.
No, they can't even save them. They can't even get in there for like however many months. So they're literally trapped there.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's hilarious.
But okay, I'm going to show you a picture of these scientists. I'm going to.
What is going on down here?
The only way to leave the base is through emergency medical evacuation to a German base around 186 miles away. Oh my goodness.
Fear and intimidation.
Wow.
Here, share my screen.
Wait a second. Stop and share. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
It's all of them. They're all DEI. Of the 9 Antarctica research team members has emailed officials begging to be rescued after a male member turned violent and began attacking and sexually assaulting his teammates. Officials have not said who was responsible for the incident. Gee, I wonder who. I'm going to guess the croucher or the tall guy.
So a lot changed, it looks like.
Or the hat guy.
I was thinking maybe the guy on the left.
The small Indian guy? Or
He
the
looks
white-
a little Indian.
You mean Muhammad?
You think he's asking for Bob's and Vagine?
I suspect that he might be.
Well, just think like you're trapped in Antarctica. Like this is. Why aren't there cameras? Why is this not the most watched
This
reality
should be
TV show?
Big Brother Antarctica.
Yo,
Elon
I would
Musk should
watch
go
that.
save them.
No, let them. They know what they signed up for.
How much you want to bet she's already been beaten or raped?
Oh,
that's horrible. But you're probably right.
I know.
What is that?
And I
white
bet you
girl
she's not getting
thinking?
sympathy from these chicks either.
No. They're probably maybe they ran out of fake nails and they're getting desperate.
yeah. So pilots and now Antarctica.
Why would you be in a situation where you're the only white person?
She probably didn't know. She probably
didn't
showed
know,
up.
yeah.
Like she is a scientist. She's doing all these things. She gets she gets to go to Antarctica to finish her research, and then she shows up, and this is everyone there. And she's like, oh shit.
She probably didn't even think anything of it at first either.
Yeah.
Oh my god. What's that meme of the of the woman who worked with the monkeys?
Oh, Jane Goodall?
Yeah, she's probably sending Jane Goodall memes to her friends. Oh no, wait, she can't. Russell Hall, she's down there cosplaying as Lily.
Oh
Phillips.
my gosh.
Ay. Poor gal.
Yeah. But so they just I think more news came out about it like recently this week, and I'm like, has anyone died yet?
That's
like, is
so
she okay?
This is
Okay, I got
terrible,
a
but
better
it is
picture that has a.
it is funny.
Here we go. This is like, who is the attacker? Which one of these guys do you think?
Oh boy. South African physically and sexually assaulted colleagues in Antarctica. I'm going to say
I'm going with 6.
I think it's 1.
Think it's 1?
Yeah, he doesn't
Could be
have
3.
He doesn't have kind eyes.
Yeah, he kind of was like the dead stare.
Yes. Yeah, he has like a sociopathic type look. Like
my
the other ones look kind of friendly. I'm going to say 1.
I was kind of thinking 1 too. And like, chat, which one do you guys?
Yeah.
Yes, chat. They're going to say D, all of the above. No, I don't think it's 6. I think number 6 is there for IT support.
He's on an H-1B visa.
Number 5 looks like just like he's there. He looks like a friendly doorman. He just looks like a sweet guy. Number 3, he's too self-conscious about his head, his big head.
2 seems fine.
2 seems cool. 4 seems like a nice guy.
What if like the twist is that like this guy is actually gay, and so it's not the women that are getting sexually assaulted?
Right.
All right. Chat is saying 1, 3, or 5.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I guess these 2 are exempt. Nobody thinks it's 2 or 4.
I'm thinking 1 or 3 now.
If you're an attack, I don't know. I think the smile is pretty telling, and number 1 really doesn't have a smile.
Yeah, you know what? You're right, Chrissy. He's the only one not showing his teeth.
Interesting.
Which means it's like, oh, or that's just the best picture they did.
Oh, here's all of them.
Oh, he's the leader. Great.
Oh boy.
No, I think they just put this on here, but Kelsey Manwish. Oh, he is the team leader. I'm sorry, I didn't read that part.
Kelsey Mawashi. I'm thinking him.
Lebo
Gang. Nakula Kalekalo. Tumalo. None of these people have good names.
No.
Geomar? What the
Geomar? Maybe she's Norwegian.
Is that a guy or a girl?
That's a girl.
Okay.
It's not a flattering photo.
No.
If you're in this team and you're like, you have to hook up with one of these guys, which one would it be? I would say.
Should we go back to the full body photo for that one, Chrissy?
Yeah, let's go back to the full body photo.
Like morbidly obese.
Ugh, yuck. I'm gonna say.
Wait, why? What if the one you pick is the sexual assaulter?
Oh, right.
Oh, so that's the Russian roulette. One of these guys is a sex pest. But you have to choose between these guys.
I bet it's Kelsey. And look at this Stanley's guy. Look at his comment. Number 5 is the guy, high confidence. Number 1 was in the running for me based on physiognomy. His eyes are lower than his ears. However, I see that he is the team lead.
What?
He doesn't think the team lead is going to be the harasser.
Why
Number
not?
5 does look aggressive. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Him?
Jumalo looks more aggressive, but Liba Gang has a definite creep factor.
I'm telling you guys, Liba Gang, he's giving me a weird vibe.
Okay,
he doesn't know his angles.
Here's the full body photo. That's Libo. Oh, this is a bad one. Here we go. They're all looking at it.
I'm gonna go for the small one. The small.
Where's the leader in that one?
Him?
The non-smiler. Yeah, where is he?
Oh, he's the fat one.
The fat one is the leader.
No way.
I think the fat one is because he's gonna.
I knew it, you guys.
Because if he's fat, he's not gonna be, doing well in the lady department.
Exactly.
You have to resort to.
He's not looking. He's looking down. He's the only one not looking at the camera.
Maybe he was about to lose his balance, and they took the photo right as he was falling.
I think that's being generous.
Or it's sunny, like the sun's in their face.
I think it's the fatty, but he's
Well,
smiling.
you know what? I kind of don't
you.
think it's. I don't think it's either of these guys because if it was one, because they're the smaller guys. This guy looks like he's a big dude. He's a big dude. This is a large dude. Like they could take out these guys. So I don't think it's either of them. So it's got to be one of these guys.
Yeah. Libo Gang is crouching. I don't like it when somebody crouches in a photo.
There are more photos of them. Oh, so they think it's him.
I'm really invested in this. Like I'm gonna wait a
we
year
or social stalk them and try to find them.
It's like the submersible.
Oh, here you go.
And anyone who's in the comments calling me racist, look, this situation forces the racism out of everyone because you have to make snap judgments.
This is what happens when you institute DEI, okay?
We didn't do the raping. Someone did the sexual harassing.
Someone here is a sexual assaulter.
Yeah.
We wouldn't even be talking about this if there haven't
they would behave. We wouldn't even know that the Antarctica program is gone DEI. But this is when you're not on your good behavior, the attention gets drawn.
I'm sorry, but there just happens to be some patterns with DEI, okay?
Things
don't turn out well.
I can't wait for the Netflix. They could just cast
Oh my God, the documentary. Okay, I'm going to look up all of these people. Which one should I look up first?
Kelsey.
Where's that other
Mitchell
photo I
Fields.
had? That was a good
Okay,
one.
Antarctic crew, lock the problem outside for 15 minutes and problem solved.
I know. Look at them.
Oh, look at this. Okay, this is telling. Okay, I don't think it's the one on the left. He looks very friendly. And I don't think it's the little one on the top.
Well, you notice there's the 2 guys are missing and the other black girls are missing from this photo.
They don't want to participate in the jovial group photo.
Oh my God. Could you imagine being trapped here?
They're like, shoot, I'm not laying in the snow. You dumbasses can take that photo by yourselves.
Where was that photo?
It's cold out there.
The one with all their names. I had it. Now I can't find it. It was on here.
Russell Hall for 2. That's 100% the pose Lily Phillips would make. Russell Hall. Spoiler. The answer is all of them at once.
Oh God.
Russell Hall. What if the white chick is a secret forced pegger? I would love that. Sam. I love this game. Guess the DEI grape is. Amazing disgrace. Cool Runnings Polar Edition. Feel the rhythm. Feel the ride. That's my leg. Mitchell Fields.
Doctor.
Don't we, the world, know the assaulter? Hey. Isaac Vanderbilt. If this is your attitude about it, you'll be taken.
What?
Is this a compliment?
I don't know what that means.
I can't tell anymore. Russell Hall. Is there a cock warmer joke in here somewhere? No, there's not, Russell. Good day. Maybe it's a false allegation. I don't know.
No, the fact that all of them are like, get us the fuck out of here. It's been a month and there's already been fights and sexual assaults. Like, I want to know what the hell's going on down here.
Wow.
Yeah.
And like again, not to sound racist, but aren't these all the types of people that would normally stay away from cold weather?
Oh my God. Kelsey was assaulted apparently. Okay, so Kelsey was being a defender and he got beat.
Wow, that is a real.
So he was defending someone and the fat guy got beat.
Okay,
so,
that's
or I mean, maybe there's multiple people sexually assaulted.
So then maybe it's one of the bigger guys. Maybe it's Nukoleko or Tumalo. Because it's not Alan and it's not Nivek. I would bet money that it's not either of them.
No, because they're little.
So maybe Liebegang, Nukolokolo, or Tumalo.
I don't know. I really wouldn't be surprised by any of them, I think, but
yeah.
I'm trying to see if any of them have an Instagram.
Why would you be like, I'm one of 3 women and there's 6 dudes here? And you're sequestered for a year. I don't like that math.
I'm just curious, like, what the prior teams looked like.
Not this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing Disgrace. Which one is the thing?
No. Oh my God. Does this make you guys like want to go to Africa or Antarctica?
No. I already
always
didn't
wanted
want
to
to go
go.
to Africa. Antarctica. Wow. Look at everybody.
So this isn't everyone that's there. I don't know who all these extra people are. Let's see.
Oh, okay.
They sent gangsters
Okay,
to-
based on this photo, I'm changing my vote to Liebegang because he's the one crouching with the 2 fingers up in the air for some reason.
You guys, I'm telling you, it's Liebegang.
And like, he's got an angry face. He's got a big, ugly head.
Oh, Grok. Fealty, share it.
Does Grok have a guess?
Info. It lists their positions and everything. Okay. You should Fealty ask Grok who's the sexual assaulter. See which one Grok.
Yeah,
thinks.
this is like a DEI game of Clue. It was Liebegang in the bathroom with the wrench.
I feel like it would be this guy, but he's not down there with them.
I think it's Liebegang.
Yeah, Liebegang.
Yeah, the fat guy is going to be he's not going to have the energy to sexually harass. He's going to be sweating and he's going to be tired.
No, that's not them. Elon Musk, go save them. He saved the astronauts. Stop knocking up women and go save them.
Yeah, what else are you doing? Go.
Yeah, can't you do something productive, Elon Musk?
Wow.
The Grok link I gave you has like their position titles, what's happening, and
It
the
doesn't, though.
allegations.
I clicked on it. None of it's there.
Really? Oh,
No,
do
you
I
have
have
to
to
share
pull it up?
yours.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
What does it mean if you've had a song stuck in your head for 5 days?
That it's a catchy song.
You're supposed to listen to it or something and it will go
Really?
away. Yeah.
Okay.
Have you listened to
gay
it
sex
since you've
theory
got it in
more
your
and
head?
more?
I did listen to it once, but
It's supposed to do it. It's supposed to get rid of it. So I don't know. I don't know what it means past that.
I have to keep listening to it. Because normally the only songs stuck in my head are just whatever sounds that baby's toys make.
No, okay. I'm saying like one of these guys is like closeted gay and he's trying to rape them. And, you know.
It's possible.
That's another question. Is like, who's the rapist or rape attempting person? And is it to the women or is it to the men?
I'm going to follow
Oh,
this
we don't
story
know?
so closely.
No, we don't. I mean, we're
Oh.
all assuming that it's her that's the victim, but it's like, what if he's trying to like bang this dude?
Oh, I guess I thought the thing
No,
said it was the women who were upset, but
I think they're hitting on the women.
You know what's
interesting.
enraging is that they already know because you know all of them, whoever they're gotten in contact with, they're like, this is happening. This is who's fighting with you. So the
Right.
media knows. South Africa knows. They just won't tell us.
I bet
Oh.
it's the high maintenance Latino chick. I think she's the one that's getting harassed. I think she's the one that's
She's black.
complaining.
They're all.
Oh,
Well, definitely the
Yeah.
white girl too.
Maybe.
The
Unless
guy
she's
in the
trying to
bucket
be
hat got raped. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking this
Oh.
dude is trying to rape this skinny guy.
Are there any pictures of her sitting on a couch? That's funny.
Oh God.
Eric Demori, thanks for 5. DEI keeps stereotypes alive. If people hired me for being gay when sexuality has nothing to do with the job, I would wish the worst on the boss.
Facts.
Shout out to the gays in the chat.
Yeah, shout out to the gays. Shout out to the gays with their head on straight.
Mitchell Fields. I'm believing the gay sex theory more and more. Ooh, yeah. You know what? Yeah. Because if there's all these dudes around and you're closeted, you're going to start getting squirrely.
Yeah, and you're just trapped there.
Mm-hmm. Amazing Disgrace. Boys in the Antarctica.
That's funny.
Okay, I just asked Grok. I said, which member of the South African Antarctic research team is assaulting the others? It was the Predator. Wait, I don't know if you guys ever watched the first Alien versus Predator movie, but it takes place in Antarctica.
Oh,
does
it?
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, so Grok says no specific individual has been publicly named as the predator of the alleged assaults of the South African.
Yes, but Grok, what do you think?
Yeah, we want to know
I
your
know.
guess. Grok.
Uh,
That's so funny. Well, I'm going to be following this story very closely until the truth comes out.
Definitely.
Okay. Wow. Amazing. This was so fun, girls. Cherry, tell the people where they can find you and what's coming up.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube, X, Instagram, and TikTok at Miss Cherry Perez. And I am working on another video that I'm going to try to get out tomorrow, but maybe Tuesday. So look for that on YouTube. Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, thank you for coming on. This was such a blast.
This was great.
And other than supporting your Indiegogo, your iProject book, where can people find you and what's coming up?
just follow me on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, all of the places. I'll probably be out with more videos tomorrow. I actually might do a video on this. I've been like holding back.
You
because I'm like- but because it's not really pop culture based, but I'm kind of like, you know, it's interesting enough for me to be intrigued. But I'll probably have a video on Rachel Zegler out tomorrow and like some more Fantastic Four news because I'm getting canceled for posting a meme about the Fantastic Four movie.
Really?
Yeah, I just said like,
are they coming on your Instagram or Twitter?
No, it's just Twitter. It takes some. It depends on what crowd it is. Right now, it's the country of Chile that's mad at me because of the Pedro Pascal stands.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so I haven't had to fight with them yet, but they're also mad at me from like a tweet about Gina earlier. So now they just piggybacked onto this Fantastic Four thing, and so it's fun. So
oh my God, you're right. I forgot the music. I'm so sorry. Thank you for reminding me. Oh my goodness.
How could you forget?
Oh my God. All right. And we have to dance. Guys, check me out. Dun, dun, dun. Wednesday, I'm going to be doing Nina's show at 8 o'clock. And check out, if you haven't already, I did a Nightmare episode with Anthony Cumia this past Friday. It's on my YouTube channel. Check it out. Very good chat with him about all things Opie and Anthony Compound and his new radio gig. Check out my stand-up gigs on my website, chrissiemayr.com. We got tickets available for Mount Kisco, May 18th. Yeah. That's in Westchester, New York. Then August 8th and 9th, Long Island. September 18th, Plano, Texas. October 18th, Massillon, Ohio. October 23rd, San Diego, California. And November 1st in Phoenix. Very exciting.
Oh, you coming to San Diego?
Yes, I just booked the show at the mic drop. Yay, we can hang out again.
Yeah.
All right, this was so fun. Thank you for watching SimpCast. We love you.
Bye.
We'll see you next time. Bye.